Get ready, because you about to be an ATLien. ATLien. Get ready, because you about to be an ATLien.
Get ready, because you're about to be an ATLien, honey. I am on 50 gazillion. This is what happens. This is what happens when you are a one-woman operation. I got 50 gazillion cameras looking at me right now. What camera is not, why am I over here and not over here? Shout out to the squad. Happy Valentine's Day. Wherever y'all are, y'all over here. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves while I get this situated. Child. Let me find my thingamajiggy for over here. Let me find this right here. Let me find my straight from the A over here. Shout out to the squad. I'm getting notifications, so I hope y'all are getting notifications as well. Phone just blowing up for no reason. So here we go right here. Okay, so I put that right there. Put that on AirPlay. Put that on the office TV. Bam. Okay, all right. Now I just got to figure out. Oh, I got green screen on, child. See, this is what happens. This is why I love y'all, because y'all are patient with me. You is patient, you is kind. Hold on. Let me turn off this green screen because I be doing the most. Honey, I be doing the AI. There I am. It's me. It's really me. Okay. I be doing the AIs and stuff. Now let me take me off of my. Oh, that's my laptop. Okay, let me remove it. Okay. There I am. Okay. Okay. All right. Pick hearts in the chat for Mama Brown. Mommy, I love you. Okay. Hey, y'all. I love my squad. Okay. I love all my supporters. I love my Patreon members. I love everybody. I love Kandi and Todd for giving me content, honey. I love Tasha K for giving me content, honey. I love the DL Whisper child. I love this book I just got in the mail. I love everybody. Look, y'all. Y'all know I love me an unboxing, but I bought this myself because y'all made me buy it. Y'all made me buy this. Just know when I be saying I'm gonna do something, I do it. Now you remember last week, I think it was last week or the week before, whenever the last time I talked about Kenya Moore Hair Spa, and we was looking at Kenya's book. We said everybody got a book, and everybody was like, "Oh, you got Portia book." I think I got Portia book. I didn't even know I had Portia book. Where is Portia book? Oh yeah, I got Portia book. Okay, look, I got Portia's book. Okay, shout out to Portia. Okay, I got Nene Leaks book, even though it ain't got no cover on it. You see that? It say Nene Leaks. Okay, I got. What else I got? You see one thing about me. I support the girls. Y'all say I don't like people, but I'm one of the only people that's gonna spend money on them. Okay, Team Twirl ain't spending no money, but I digress. I got Phaedra book. Okay, Secrets of a Southern Belle. Who else I got? I got Candy's movie. Okay, A Mother Love Child. I got it all. Hold on, let me put them back before I forget because I will. I got Wendy Williams book up here. Look, I got Wendy Williams book, child. Y'all just don't know. I got Jada Pinkett book up here. I got Jada Pinkett, child. Y'all just don't know. I got Dennis Rodman up there. What's the Portia book? Okay, anyway, despite all of that, people was like, I didn't buy Brooklyn's book because but crazy thing is I got Deshaun Snow. Deshaun Snow did a children's series, and I have her book. Where is that? Where is that, y'all? I know it's here somewhere. It might be. Oh, hold on. I got Deshaun Snow's books. Where they at though? I don't know where they at. They over here somewhere. I got Deshaun Snow's books. Deshaun Snow did a children's series a while back. I got her books. And guess whose books came in the I bought the last three that was on I bought the last three that was on Amazon. Okay. They said only three was left. And I bought all three. And I said I'm gonna put one on the up here where my paraphernalia is, and I'm gonna give two away. Okay. Because Kenya gonna teach y'all how to get game. Kenya's game ain't worked yet. That's all. I don't know what this book about. It said game. It says game. Get you some. What women really want. Okay. Yeah. They said Ludacris said this book is amazing. Kenya is provocative, straightforward, funny, and sexy. A must-have. Malik Yoba, who liked the trend, said game is very well written. Kenya did a great job and kept it simple. She provided me a lot of insight on things I thought I already knew. I smell a bestseller. That was from Malik Yoba. He said he liked the trans girls. T Pain said I'd buy old smelly fish grease if Kenya was selling it. But I admit this book taught me a lot that I already thought I had on lock with women. So all these men, these all men. So Kenya wrote this book for men. I haven't read it yet though. Terrell Owens from the Dallas Cowboys said it's a great read with simple pointers anyone can get a touchdown for sure. Now is Kenya Moore the female Miss Hitch? Child, not Kenya Moore wrote a book for the men. Child, what they had learned? I don't know what they learning because they show what her man. I can't talk because I ain't got one either. But how you write a book for the men? Did Mark read this book? I don't know. That she is a pretty girl, and just because someone is pretty does not mean they don't have diseases. She really wrote. She really wrote that. She look at that. She really wrote that right there. She is a pretty girl, and just because someone is pretty does not mean they don't have diseases. Child, now she highlighted that part. Child, talking about herpes and child, she teaching the people about the herpes. Can you got the herpes? There are more than 50 known STDs to date. Now she got a whole thing on the herpes in here. Now she telling the men, women. I'm gonna read this. This is good. Most men have paid for sex. At least what Kenya is telling y'all that men be paying for the sex. Child, not Kenya is so male identified. Y'all know they said Claudia was a pygmy, and her and Claudia Jordan are friends. So The pick me stick together. Not you writing a book telling the men. Yes, happy Valentine's Day. I guess this is how you gonna get you a man. You gotta read, give your man this book and this will tell him what he want. Anyway, y'all told me to buy it, and I bought it. Child, it was $4.95. It was on sale. Anyway, you said I'm confused. Didn't even know she had a book out. Child, it was from 50 years ago before she even came on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya was pulling stunts and shows back then. Kenya had leaked a fake sex tape back in the day. It's actually on straight from the A.com. And in leaking this fake sex tape, she was actually only promoting the book. So, there's that. There's a little Real Housewives of Atlanta history. That's not even Real Housewives. There's some Kenya Moore history. That's back when people used to actually like Kenya Moore. They didn't know she was filled with stunts. And now here she is about to be evicted. But anyway, I'm digressing. Shout out to the squad. Y'all know the only reason I'm here is because I love y'all. Okay. You see these people in the green, these are our channel sponsors. You could be a channel sponsor too. All you gotta do is click that join button. Also, shout out to my Patreon members. Patreon, I owe y'all a live, and I guess I'll go live tonight because I ain't doing nothing. I'm gonna be sitting here looking pretty in my red and pink Adidas outfit that you can find on my LTK shop, LTK / I am ATLien for any of the outfits that you see on here. Thank y'all. I appreciate yours, honey. Derek took my hair down and tried to. I'm like, I need some more weave up here. Derek, I'm gonna see you, Derek. I know you watching, Derek. I'm gonna come see you. I need some more weave at the top right here because it's too much of my hair out. I already had a little wine. Can you tell? Can you tell I had a little wine? We was out at the Houston's a little bit earlier, me and my friends. I guess it was Valentine's, and we was sitting around and gossiping and stuff. We had a good time up there too. We ate all the food. It was amazing. I even brought some food home. Anyway, moving on. Today's live, we have a lot to talk about because I've been a little bit off. I'm off every day. But I haven't been live this week, and there have been so many court documents dropping. The last live I did, I talked about Todd Tucker saying that he wanted custody of the kids. Now you know that Kandi was not gonna let that fly. No, 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 no. Kandi, big dog, Kandi Burruss was not gonna let Todd have the last word. So what did Kandi do? Kandi went and amended her petition, child. She amended it and she said that Todd is a squatter. And I got the amended petition. Okay. And then after Kandi filed that, Todd filed another response responding to Kandi. And I'm like, oh, this is a novel. This is like a novella. I just don't understand this. Child, take us out the group chat, but not really. Don't take us out because I'm tuned in. Okay, every time you drop some legal papers, I'm gonna read them. So I got both of the documents, and we're gonna read them because we don't have no Valentines. Hell, Kandi and Todd don't either. At the end of the day, Kandi and Todd don't either. You said they want to spin up. Listen, all the what they call themselves, the candy coated click people, they be over here all the time up under videos. Every time I do a video about Kandi and her divorce, they be like, "Where's your man? Where's your man?" And I'm like, but if having a man mean I gotta separate my assets and argue over the house, I don't need one. If having a man mean we gotta fight in the court of public opinion, I don't need one. If having a man mean I gotta give him my money that I work hard for, that I come on here and run my mouth for every day, I don't need him. Okay, I'm just saying I'm single and rich and single. I'd rather be rich and single than rich and married to somebody I don't like and trying to get divorced and they won't get out my house and they stay in the guest house. Shoot, I'm just saying. Child, let me go ahead and block you. Okay, let me go ahead and block you. Block. Okay, you don't want to hear what I got to say. You don't have to be here. Okay, you can still watch. You just won't be able to participate in the chat. Okay, shout out to the squad. I love y'all. Okay, now another thing that we have on this agenda is TS Hands and Tasha K and the DL Whisperer. Okay. Now, I touched on that a little while ago. Okay. I talked about how colorist Claudia was out in the DL Whisperer's DMs trying to get him to go in on Corey Holcomb and on Lil Duval, okay, because they said stuff about Claudia, okay, and now she was trying to get him to like say they was DL just on the strength of they said something she didn't like. So we talked about that, right? So now You know that TS Manhans had been doxing, allegedly doxing the DL Whisper. And the reason why I believe it's true is because TS Madison had doxed me back in the day. Okay. And I'm gonna pull those receipts as well, child. I'm gonna pull all those receipts. But before I do, hold on. Let me see who in here. Shout out to my new member. Yes, new member. Hey, baby J Howard. Welcome to the membership, friend. Hey, Swag 99. Welcome to the membership, friend. You are in good company. Like all opinions right here. She been a member for 54 months, almost 5 years. Okay, so if no one told y'all today, I love you. I love you. Okay, that's what she said. If no one told you, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. Now, who should I start with first? I don't even know. I feel like I should start with Kandi and Todd first so we could just get over that mess, honey. All of it is mess. This is a whole messy live. And maybe if I go with Kandi and Todd first, I could just, I don't know. Thank you for gifting a membership, Houston Foodie. Shout out to the Houston Foodie. Okay. Okay, let me go ahead since we got these documents. And it might be boring, child. But let me show you what Kandi has said to People Magazine, because you know Kandi sent the documents to People Magazine before they even hit the damn streets. Hold on. This is what Kandi said about Todd being a squatter, which is bad, real bad. Hold on. Where is it? Oh no, it's on TMZ, it's on Bossip, and it's on, okay, here it is. It's on TMZ, honey. And Done One and then be calling TMZ. Allegedly Done One and his man. Hold on, let me share it for you. Here it is right here. So Kandi, after Todd said that he wanted you know, full custody of the kids and full decision making power, all of a sudden Kandi came out the woodwork and said that you know, Todd is a squatter. Okay, that's what she said. She said Todd is a squatter and he has been living in her guest house. And I'm sitting here like, well, did we already know that? Have we already heard that before? Because that was in the first document that he responded to. Okay. Remember Candace said he was living in the guest house and that he wasn't really taking care of the kids and that he wasn't contributing to the finance of the home. She said that already. So I guess Candy was like trying to reiterate it because you know we've been reading all the documents. So I'm like, why you gotta say it again, Candy? But again, Kandi got to get the last word. So the last document that we reviewed was Todd saying, listen, I keep the kids. Kandi ain't never here. I'm in town. I am the custodial parent. I feel like I need full custody and support and blah, 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 blah. Kandi amended her petition. And in her amended petition, she said that Todd was just a squatter living rent free in the guest house and not paying a dime in rent. Now, first of all, Kandi, he ain't been paying rent. Okay, he ain't been paying rent. I don't understand why all of a sudden Kandi like he don't pay no rent, he don't pay this, he don't pay that. And I'm like, Kandi, we knew he ain't pay nothing. You been saying he ain't paid nothing, like except she did go on Watch What Happens Live and say that Todd paid half the bills. Now, was Kandi lying or is she lying now? Because I'm trying to figure this out. Because apparently Kandi make it seem like Todd ain't paying nothing. Todd is a bum, honey. That Todd been living there 11 years, not paying a dime. She been paying for everything: his food, his clothes, his shoes, like everything. His cars. You know, Todd be driving good. Todd had Corvettes and Porsches and Range Rovers and everything. So, like, what had happened that all of a sudden Kandi closed the bank account? Now, according to the court documents, Kandi is slamming Todd for not contributing financially to the home and the care of the kids. Now, you know they are fighting over custody. Now, I'm gonna look at the actual documents because you know that's what we like to do. I don't like to read what other people then already broke down. I like to read the actual documents because it's like a story to me. Like I love the way that the attorneys be like writing. Hold on. So here is, you know, Candy's attorney. I think she still got the same attorney. Um, let me see. Hold on. I'm pulling up the documents right now. Yep, she still got the same attorney, Adama McKinney. Shout out to Adama, child. And so let's read these court documents that Kandi filed. Y'all know I ain't I was about to read the damn copyright disclaimer. I don't even have to do that because this ain't no copyright. I don't know why I do that to me over there. Hold on. I'm about to put it in the charts. Share screen. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Bam. Okay. So pay attention. Okay, this document was filed just days after we were reading Todd Tucker's document. I think Todd's document was filed on February 8th and Kandi's document was filed on February 9th. Okay. And so when Kandi filed it February 9th at 7:12 p.m., the court wasn't even open, child. She went ahead and filed it electronically. Here is what Kandi had to say. Okay. Now, you know, Kandi had already filed a motion for temporary hearing on parenting time and child support because she was acting like, you know, Todd was interfering with the schedule that she had already, concocted. Okay. She didn't she said, I don't have to ask him. These my children. Okay. And so Todd was saying it's not right for her to do this all willy-nilly without consulting me first. And now since she's doing it all willy-nilly without consulting me first, I want sole custody and I want final decision making power, which means, it's only two of them. And one of them got to break the tie. So Todd is saying, I want to be the one who breaks the tie. So Kandi amended hers, and here's what she had to say. Now, as you know, Kandi was the one who actually filed for divorce. And I know a lot of people feel a ways. A lot of people's like, Todd is doing this. Todd is taking her money. Todd. But it was Kandi's decision to file for divorce just a week before Thanksgiving on November 21st, 2025. Now, I don't know what forced her hand, what made her decide that she was going to file it just a week before Thanksgiving, but she went ahead and she did it. Now, she also filed her motion for a temporary hearing on parenting time and child support January 8th, okay, after they had been to court, after they've been going back and forth, after Todd been, trying to dispute the prenup, she's like, listen, the only thing we got to argue over right now is the custody and the support. Shout out to the paralegals in the chat, child. I'm not a paralegal. I just read documents, okay? If I'm wrong, y'all tell me in the chat. Now it says, they name both the kids, they got two minor kids. Then it says Todd, who is the respondent, does not support the needs and expenses of the minor children on a consistent basis. Now, it's the wording for me because when you say on a consistent basis, that means he do it every now and then. He just ain't doing it right now. Okay. And it said he does not contribute financially to the two children's private school tuition. He has not purchased a single uniform for either children. Textbooks, supplies are paid any enrollment fees to date. The children are enrolled in extracurricular activities that include jiu-jitsu, chess club, basketball, Mandarin tutoring, English tutoring, dance, respectively. The petitioner pays 100% of all fees. They saying Kandi pay everything. Todd ain't paying nothing. That's what she's claiming in her documents. Now, she's also saying Todd does not contribute financially to any of the aforementioned expenses on behalf of the children, leaving this responsibility solely to the petitioner. Did we not already know this? You said none of that. Sometimes when I got minutes, what y'all talking about? Didn't we not already know that Todd wasn't paying nothing allegedly? He said maybe Todd should get a full-time job. Well, when he tried, Kandi told him she didn't want him to. We saw it. Okay. That's the problem. That's why Kandi want to steal these documents because she want everybody to forget that we saw a bunch of this on TV. And listen, I'm not team Kandi. I'm not team Todd. I am team family. Okay. I'm hoping that they decide to get back together. I'm hoping that Todd go ahead and apologize for whatever it is they said he did. And they drop this. Now, let me say this before I continue. Because I said that I was gonna tell y'all my theory. And I'm gonna tell y'all my theory real quick before I go forward on these documents. Now, my theory as far as Kandi and Todd is concerned is that, they said Todd had an emotional commitment with someone that they both were in relations with. Okay. And the someone that they were allegedly having intimate relations with is a stripper in Atlanta. Okay. And this stripper in Atlanta apparently has been spending more time with Todd than Kandi liked. Okay. And apparently, Kandi, confronted said stripper. Okay. And a stripper was like, well, he want me, whatever. And I'm just, again, I'm paraphrasing, but apparently the stripper was very confident that Todd wanted her. Okay. And whatever relationship agreement that they all had, because apparently they in some polyamorous, I don't know what y'all call it, where it be a bunch of people in a whole relationship with each other, and maybe only one or two of them are married. Maybe one or two. Everybody ain't married. Hold on, my seatbelt. And that's the problem. Everybody need to have something to lose, okay? And apparently, the agreement was, we all in this together. But apparently, Todd was sneaking on the side, allegedly, 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 allegedly. And so, if Todd was sneaking on the side, and it was outside the boundary of said relationship, okay, felt like, he owed her an apology, he owed her something, like, I'm your wife, I'm the person that you need to be, loyal to, despite the fact that I'm allowing, all of this freaking sneakiness to go on. Now, it's my theory that Kandi filed for divorce the week before Thanksgiving as kind of like an ultimatum, like a gimme gotcha. I feel like Kandi didn't think that Todd was gonna clap back. I think that Kandi thought Todd was gonna be like, oh, okay, my bad, I'm wrong. What I need to do? What I need to do to make it up, boss? And that ain't what happened. Todd started playing dirty. Todd went back to Randy Kessler. Todd pulled up those receipts and said this prenup is bullshit. Todd was like, no, 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 no. You ain't just gonna kick me out after I put in 11 years of my hard-earned time and money and stop my career. And so Todd was like, if the gender roles are exchanged, okay, Todd was like the stay-at-home mom in the situation. Now, Candy's claiming that Todd ain't necessarily staying at home, that she got a whole like a nanny. But at the end of the day, if he wasn't working and she was taking care of him and he was doing what he wanted to do, get his nails done every day and come home and feed the kids, have dinner waiting when she get home. But that's what it was. So you can't just decide on in November that you don't want him no more and decide to kick him off and cut off all the finances. No, that's not how it works. If it was the wife, y'all would be like, she gotta pay her, and he gotta pay her, and he has, she has to be given the lifestyle that she's accustomed to. I'm just saying. Yes, child, getting his nails done. You know how, men be getting their nails and their toes done too in the middle of the day. Child, I was just at the nail salon the other day. It was a whole bunch of men in there. I'm like, y'all ain't got no job. Y'all ain't got nowhere to be. Okay. Anyway, that's my theory. And I'll get into it a little bit more a little bit later. But hold on, we're gonna continue reading this document. This is Kandi's amended petition. As y'all get in here, like this video. Now, okay, where was I? It says, since the petitioner filed her petition for divorce on November 21st, okay, the minor children have had 2 separate birthday parties. Now, she's saying that Todd attended the parties despite the fact that he willfully refused to financially contribute to the expenses of the birthday parties for either child, despite the petitioner's request for financial assistance. I don't know what that's going to do, because, if he the daddy and you the mama, like, if you want to throw the party, throw the party. He might have wanted to throw another party. He might have wanted to have a party at Chuck E. Cheese, and she might have wanted to invite half of the Atlanta, which is what she did. And so Todd was like, you gonna invite half the Atlanta, then go ahead and have your party, but I'm gonna have my party over here. But allegedly, Kandi saying that Todd didn't pay. Okay. Next, it says, since the date of separation, the respondent has been residing in the petitioner's guest house. The property is premarital asset acquired by the petitioner prior to marriage. During the time that the respondent, i.e. Todd, has been residing in the detached guest house, he has not paid a single expense for the maintenance and upkeep of the home, to include utilities, gas, lawn care, water, pest control, or any fees associated with an alarm system on the property. Now, listen, I know y'all gonna hate me for this, but If y'all married, he ain't got to pay no rent. Since when? Since when do your husband got to pay rent? If you already paying it. Just like if he was the wife. Like, I'm just saying, y'all be in here windmilling saying, get out, Todd, get out. But at the end of the day, you can't just put nobody out without court intervention. You can't just decide one day, I'm going to leave. Okay, this is a contract. This is a marriage. Okay, so now all of a sudden, after 11 years, he's supposed to be paying rent. I don't know how that works. Y'all let me know. Because if he wasn't paying rent before, how he gonna pay rent now? Okay. Anyway, moving on. Let's finish. It said the respondent has not made a single monetary contribution to the maintenance of the main house for which the party's two minor children reside. The respondent does not serve a primary custodian as primary custodian of the two children, despite the portrayals he has made in social media and print media and through the legal pleadings that he and his counsel have filed in the pending divorce proceedings. Now, if the counsel has not been the primary custodian, who been the primary custodian? Because we know that Kandi been in New York for months. Was it Mama Joyce? Was it Riley? Like, who has been the primary custodian? Who has been in Atlanta with the kids? Because I'm just saying, if something happened to them kids, the nanny can't sign the document. The nanny can't agree to medical treatment. Like, who has been there? Y'all let me know what's going on, because I'm just reading the documents. Okay, I ain't making this up. This is from the receipts that they putting out here. So she's saying that he has not served as primary custodian. So we need to know who is it? Don Juan? But Don Juan isn't biologically related to these children, unless it's something we don't know. Unless Don Juan contributed to. Woosah. Anyway, it says the respondent has typically committed to driving the children to school and may participate in the children's bedtime routine on the nights that he decides to come home to the guest house. Not Kandi being messy. Not on the nights that he decides to come home. Child, that's given. Okay, he be sleeping over at the girl house, child. He don't even come home half the time. Okay. It's a mess. This is a mess. So this has been demonstrated. The demonstrated conduct of the respondent since the parties separated, and while the petitioner has been working on Broadway in New York. So Kandi said he don't even come home half the time. Okay, because maybe we got the nanny over there, we got Mama Joyce over there. Somebody is over there. Okay, but Todd saying I want them. I'm the daddy. Okay, I'm in town, not her. Okay, it says, but remember. Y'all remember they was playing nice at first. Y'all remember that they both said that oops, hold on. Where am I? Y'all remember that they both were saying that neither one of them say that the other is a bad parent. Y'all remember that? That's been in each of their court documents that they're both good parents. Now all of a sudden, because one of them at Todd wants sole custody and support, now all of a sudden he don't even be at home, child. He be out in these streets. He be out in these streets, child. You said what the prenup say? I don't know. I don't know. That's private. I don't know what it say. Anyway, we're gonna finish reading. Okay. So it said the only consistent parenting time that Todd has held is to transport one minor child to basketball practice weekly. So she said Todd don't do nothing with Blaze. He only takes Ace to basketball practice. But here's the thing. Why are you nitpicking? He is the baby daddy. He is the father. Okay. And so if he's the father, shouldn't he be allowed to transport the kids? Like, I don't understand. Are you saying that that's not enough? I don't understand. Anyway, Kandi's petition goes on to say the petitioner Kandi, and this right here is playing big dog right here. This right here is telling the judge that she is the boss, because it says the petitioner, a professional entertainer and reality television personality, has been employed on Broadway in New York City since November 2025 and will remain so until March of 2026. Well, Kandi, you writing your own issue. Listen, you writing the law right now, because at the end of the day, you basically saying I ain't home. I ain't been home for months. Okay. And she also goes on to say, despite her rehearsal and live show performance schedules, petitioner consistently flies back home to exercise parenting time with the two minor children. The petitioner is not an absentee mother and never has been. She is away on a limited employment detail. On the days of the week that petitioner is working in New York, she has arranged and pays for a caregiver for the children. The caregiver resides in the home on a full time basis with the children, attends to the daily needs of the children, picks the children up for school daily, transport the children to activities at school when necessary, prepares meals for the children, assists with homework assignments, and prepares the children for the day and bedtime on a regular basis. So Kandi basically said, I'm paying for a substitute parent. Okay, Todd ain't got to be the sole parent because I'm paying for somebody to be there full time. Do y'all think a judge is gonna be like, oh, okay, because she paid for a full time caregiver for the children, then he don't need sole custody, even though he the father? Is it like I'm just trying to figure out because like this giving big dog, I got the money. Okay, I got the money. He ain't never there because I got a caregiver that be there full time. Well, that's because you chose to get a full time caregiver. I mean, maybe if you said you need to stay, I'm not gonna have no caregiver no more. Maybe Todd will still be there all the time. I don't know. I'm just reading the court documents. Okay. It also says the service and assistance of the caregiver is distinct from the respondent, which is different from Todd, as he is often not at home or chooses not to provide any contribution to the aforementioned needs of the children daily on a consistent basis. So she's telling us what Todd choose. We don't know what Todd choose, but she's saying that he choose not to be there. Now, Todd responded to this, and I'm going to read Todd's response in a minute. Okay. It also says the respondent, which is Todd, does not or has not even paid the fees, cost of the caregiver at any point in time. He is a beneficiary of the services and assistance of the caregiver, yet has willfully refused to contribute financially to the service. Child, you said they'll be back together by June. I think they're gonna be back together because I feel like Kandi gonna be like, it's cheaper to keep them. I'm just saying that. Listen, I'm just saying this is the most press Kandi and Todd has ever had, and I don't know that they gonna part ways. Actually, okay. You say Helen is an older lady name, yeah, but that ain't what they call her on the streets. Okay, that might be her government name. Okay, but they don't call her that. They said Kandi wants to be controlling like her mother, and Todd isn't having it. Okay, listen, y'all, listen at the strip club, club girl is y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is. Kandi and they'll be messing with them strippers allegedly. Anyway, I'm digressing. It said it has been customary for both the petitioner and the respondent to travel for employment opportunities during marriage and prior to and after the birth of both of the minor children. This Broadway appearance in New York is a limited engagement that concludes March of 2026. While the petitioner has been appearing on Broadway, the respondent has been traveling internationally. Like Todd went on one trip that we know of. Okay, it says specifically he has indulged in multiple trips to the Bahamas since the petitioner filed for divorce. So Kandi said, "Listen, Todd been out here going on vacation, okay, and I've been at work." Okay, even though I've been in New York, I've been at work. That's what she said. Even though Kandi was in Dubai for a week, but we ain't gonna say nothing about that. Not Helen is her stage name. Y'all so funny. You said Todd was watching the kids until Kandi filed and tried to act like Todd is the actor. Okay, this is all a scheme set up by Kandi. I'm just saying they both scheming each other at this point. Like Todd is saying that he's doing more than he does, and Kandi is basically big dog and saying, I got the money and you ain't paid nothing. But we already knew that. Okay, this is who you chose, Kandi. I'm just saying you chose this man, and this is the situation or the financial agreement that both of y'all agreed upon. Like it worked for 10 years. You know what they say? It worked till it didn't. Okay. Now, okay, it said, in consequence, it may also be argued that the respondent's extended travel for quote unquote work may be anticipated more so than the petitioner. So basically, Kandi said, I'm still going to be working. I'm still going to be traveling. So I'm still not going to be there. That's what Kandi is saying. So Kandi is kind of, I don't know, kind of pleading his case for him. If she not there, who is going to be there to have the decision making powers for the children? It said, hence, also making it difficult or impossible for him to serve as primary custodian of the two minor children, a role he has never held. Ooh, child, not a role he has never held. Okay. You said I just had Christmas. They just had Christmas pictures together. They had a lot of pictures together, and in the picture, the nanny was in the picture. Y'all know I told y'all the nanny was in the picture. Hold on. I gotta break this up a little bit, child, before we let me pull up the picture with the nanny. Child, hold on. Hold on. Like this video, y'all get in here. Like this video, please. Now, remember I told you Kandi's nanny is a Grammy Award winning uh songwriter. Okay, her name is Katrina. I told y'all that the other day. Well, a little while ago. Where is that Christmas picture at, y'all? Hold on. What they was there? It is right now. There it is right now. And so, hold on. Let me see. Look, share screen. Now look. There go Todd, Ace, and Kayla. They on one side of the room with Blaze. I don't know. The room is like separated. Then Kandi in the middle, and there go Riley. I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's Riley boyfriend, somebody. But that lady back there in the back, that is Katrina. That is the nanny. Okay, that's the nanny that Kandi says lives there. It's 24 hours that go everywhere that they go. So I was trying to figure out how the Grammy Award winner become the nanny. That's all I said. But I know they friends and she might need a job and Grammys don't pay money. That's what I know. But anyway, I just thought I'd refresh your memory with that one because hold on. I actually did a short video where I was trying to hold on. Where I actually told y'all about it. Shorts. Like this video, please, and thank you. You said the nanny knew how to. Ooh, no, you didn't say how to blow, child. Y'all are messy. Like this video as y'all get in here, please, and thank you. Like this video because we got a lot on this agenda. Here it is, right here. Wait. Kandi wants privacy but won't stop talking. I got there it is right there. See in my shorts right there. There was the nanny right there. Hold on, let's see. And then the crazy thing is this lady right here in the back, like people was like, that's Fatum, that's the third, that's the this, that's the that. She looking like she don't even want to be in this picture. But apparently that's Kandi and Todd's nanny. The nanny is a Grammy Award winning songwriter, which is crazy to me. What's her name? Katrina something. Her name is Katrina Willis. She is a Grammy Award-winning musician who wrote many R&B classics and collaborated with Kandi on Kandi's first solo album. She has been Kandi's nanny for years. Katrina C. Willis. The nanny's face saying, "Let me go home, child." I'm just trying to figure out how she a Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter, musician, and producer, and now she the nanny for Kandi. What is she doing there, girl? What you ain't got nothing else to do? It says she was one of four co-writers of Aretha Franklin's Grammy Award-winning single "Wonderful" and Luther Vandross's "Say It Now." With two others, she wrote "The Temptations," "I'm Here," and was one of four co-writers of songwriter turned reality TV personality Kandi Burruss' solo debut single "Don't Think I'm Not." Oh, y'all remember that? When I'm out in the club, don't think I'm not. Yeah, I told y'all that a while ago. I was just trying to, pull up old stuff. But you said why is a nanny needed if Todd isn't working? Todd is full of it. Well, I don't know if Todd is full of it or if Kandi is full of it. It seems to me that Kandi wants the nanny there. I don't know. I don't know. You said Kandi is paying her well. Okay. I'm telling you, Carmen knows the real secret and it's part of the demise. Mama Joyce needs to bring it out. Not Mama Joyce. Todd is a qualified producer. Get a job. Okay, get a job. Not that was 80 years ago. Okay. You said the song fits the narrative. Well, when I'm out in the club, don't think I'm not. Kandi, you wrote it. Todd is acting it out. So hold on. We about to go back into these documents. And before I do, y'all go ahead and like this video, please. Thank you. Like this video. I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds. 30 seconds to like this video. Shout out to all my Facebook people. Shout out to Twitter, Twitch, all of y'all. Like this video. Where's my 30-second countdown? Yeah, there you go, right there. All right, we back. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. I didn't even check and see Mods. Did the people like? Do I need to do 30 more? Let me know. Okay. Hold on. Let me share the screen. Okay, let's finish. This is Kandi's petition. We're gonna read Todd's response next. Okay. It also says, at the time that the respondent has opted to travel domestically and internationally since November 21st, 2025 to date, he has done so on multiple occasions without providing adequate timely notice to petitioner. Kandi said, Todd has not told me he's going out of town. She is pissed off. But she's also saying that she got a 24-hour caregiver. Now, I'm trying to figure out, it's not making sense. Like, either you got somebody there all the time and he ain't there, or he leaving and you need him there. Make up your mind. It says, in fact, he traveled internationally during the month of December, intentionally missing the children's holiday school performances, knowing that the petitioner would be away working at that time in New York. So she mad at him because he wasn't there, but then you say he ain't never there. I don't know. I don't know. Does that make sense to you guys? You said she may well allow him to stay in the guest house. Okay. You said Kandi has been on the road for a while. Kandi would prefer that the nanny raise him. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay. Kandi would prefer that the caregiver raise the children over Todd. It says the respondent is also committed to domestic travel and most recently traveled to Breckenridge, Colorado. Ooh, not Todd was in Colorado. Okay. He also has a history of traveling to promote his films on promotional tours throughout the United States. Now she's saying the man can't work. She can go travel to work, but he can't go travel to work. Y'all remember Todd was traveling doing the don't bring your man to Atlanta tour. Now she's saying that he been traveling all over these United States. And it said, despite traveling for quote unquote business and personal benefits, the respondent has failed to pay child support to the petitioner or pay any money towards any of the children's stated monthly and annual expenses to date. The petitioner has solely been covering all the financial support of the party's minor children. Kandi is pissed off because it's given that the stripper is a part of the show. Is the stripper part of Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta, Kandi? Is the stripper part of Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta? Because you know there's a bunch of strippers that travel with them. Okay, I'm just asking. It says the petitioner has served as the traditional caregiver for the children since their respective birth to date. Okay, it says even while working in New York on this limited engagement, the petitioner, i.e. Kandi, continues to address the needs of the children by scheduling and attending doctor's appointments, overseeing activity schedules, and satisfying all financial needs of the children. The respondent, i.e. Todd, did not pay for even to facilitate the children's trip to New York for the 2025 Christmas holiday break. Now, if I remember correctly, didn't Kandi say that that was her idea, and then Todd wanted to do something else, and then since she had already paid, he went ahead and came. Wasn't that in a petition? Y'all let me know in the chat. Now she's saying that she had paid for the flights for the children and the caregiver without any assistance from Todd. In fact, Todd did not even fly with the children from Atlanta to New York, nor did he remain in New York with the children the entire time they were present with Kandi. Now, like, wait a minute, is he supposed to be there or not? Is he supposed to be? This is so messy. Is he supposed to be there or not? I'm just, y'all let me know, because y'all saying that she don't need him there because she has a caregiver, but when he leaves, all of a sudden she's saying that he ain't there and she don't know where he at. Okay, he flew in days later, contributing nothing financially to their travel accommodations. Mm, mm, mm. Hold on. You said having orgies, threesome, and strippers in your vows was a big mistake. Kandi grew up and saw the light, and Todd mad she isn't slow no more. Oh, I mean, whose idea was it in the first place? He's in the house but not caring for the kids. Get out. Allegedly. Now we haven't read his side yet. This is all he say, she say. This is what Kandi is saying. Now Todd has responded. We're gonna finish. I wanted to read what she was alleging first. That says the petitioner desires, which is Kandi, desires that the respondent share in the financial expenses of the children on an equal basis, 50-50. The petitioner desires to exercise parenting time with the minor children consistently and without interference from the respondent. While the divorce proceedings have been pending before the court, the respondent will make attempts to use the children or threaten to restrict the petitioner's access to the children if she does not comply with his demands for resolution of the matters. Therefore, court intervention is necessary to not only ensure that the respondent financially supports the children on a consistent basis, but that the petitioner is afforded consistent and peaceful parenting time with the children, not only on a daily basis, but during scheduled holiday breaks. Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna get mad when I say this, but this is totally, totally changed gender roles. It is like literally Ty is the stay-at-home mom that don't pay nothing. Kandi is the husband that is making all the money and paying all the bills. And now she don't want to be with him no more. And she's saying that he need to be paying 50-50. He wasn't paying 50-50 at first. Why he gotta pay 50-50 now? That's the only thing I'm questioning. Okay. Like at the end of the day, like now it's all about the money when it wasn't about the money before. Okay. Like exactly. Kandi picked this baby daddy. Okay. Anyway, let me finish. It said, therefore, the petitioner requests that the court issue a temporary parenting plan that affords the parties with respective scheduled parenting time with the minor children on a temporary basis. The petitioner requests that the temporary parenting plan also includes a plan that addresses how the parties shall split time with the minor children. Now, Kandi, like, listen, we need a schedule because he is holding the children from it, just like a baby mama who is mad that they not getting their child support. That's what Todd doing right now. He is keeping the children from the mama. Okay, like y'all, some of y'all be keeping y'all children from the daddy because he ain't paid the child support. Y'all don't see it, but that's exactly what's going on here. And I know Todd is a man, and Todd need to man up, but this is what they built. This is the relationship that they put together. You said Todd full of shit. I think they both are at this point. Okay. I think they both are. Okay. Like, because it was Kandi's decision to file for divorce. And now she's acting like because he's fighting back, now all of a sudden he needs to pay rent. He needs to pay this and he needs to pay that. Like he hasn't been paying it. But anyway, I'm digressing. It also says the petitioner asserts that respondent is a good father. Now she's saying he's a good father. So what's the problem? What is the problem? Yet she desires for him to share in the expenses for the children. See, this is the problem right here. Like a lot of y'all say that. Like maybe he ain't got no money. I don't know. But at the end of the day, if he a good father, let him be a good father. But instead of letting him be a good father, she would prefer for the caregiver that she pays to be there. Like, and he's saying that he wants sole custody. So make it make sense. It says the petitioner believes that court intervention is necessary to get financial support of the minor children from the respondent. Well, first of all, Kandi, in the beginning of this petition, you said you make all the money. At the beginning of this petition, you said that you travel for work. At the beginning of this petition, you said that you was a famous star in reality TV and a celebrity. You said you got all the money. Now all of a sudden you want financial support for the children? I don't know. I don't know. Something is not right here. Anyway, It also says the petitioner asserts that it would be in the best interest of the minor children for the court to schedule a hearing to address the issues of temporary child support and parenting time. The petitioner acknowledges that the parties have been committed in good faith to resolve all outstanding issues. The petitioner further reiterates her commitment to continue such negotiations. Yet, in the interim, she requests that the court schedule a hearing to hear arguments on the pending motion. So here it is. She want a order. She want a hearing. She want an order directing Todd to pay child support and share in the expenses for the children. She want an order awarding the petitioner and responding with parenting time with the minor children on a regular basis and major holidays. And she want an order awarding the petitioner parenting time with minor children. I don't know that how she gonna order that he pay child support? How she gonna what? How she? Can y'all act like Kandi is just a regular old single mother like y'all? Kandi is not no single mother. Okay, Kandi got all the money. Kandi can take care of every motherfucker in here. That's what she said. Now she want child support. I'm just trying to figure this out. She only want child support because he fighting the dang prenup. Anywho, you saying she want her girlfriend. Oh, not the girlfriend in the guest house. You said so she is supposed to let him live rent free and not contribute. I never said that. I never said that. I just said it's weird because at the end of the day, if the roles were reversed, if Todd was a woman who had a child, the husband would be paying child support to the woman. Okay, both of them would not be paying child support. How is it that both of them have to pay child support? I'm just saying. Y'all let me know. You said Todd should be responsible too. Kandi asks if Todd is making money. Is he? I don't know, but we're gonna see what Todd say in his response. You say I'm tripping? Oh, am I tripping? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think. I don't know. I just feel weird about this because y'all say Kandi is so rich, but now she want Todd to pay child support. That ain't how being rich work. A judge is not going to order child support if you make the bulk of the money, whether you're a man or a woman. They're not going to do it. They just not. I don't get it. Hold on. So let me finish. Like this video, please, and thank you. Like this video. Now we're going to Todd's response to what Kandi said. Now Todd saying that what Kandi said is some bullshit. Okay, that's what Todd saying. His order, like I said, this is all he say, she say. I don't know. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Because every time Todd files something, Kandi files something next. And so we just gonna read it like we always do. Hold on. Put myself to the side like this. Hold on. Why I get to the side? Oh, that. Wait. There you go. Okay. Here is the father's response to petitioner's amended motion for temporary hearing on parenting and child support. So every single time one of them files, the other one filed. Like remember, Todd filed his claims on the 8th. Kandi filed her amended petition on the 9th. And now here is father's response to Kandi's amended petition on the 12th. Okay. So T. Jermaine Tucker, A.E. Todd, and his counsel of record, Randy Kessler and Aisha Howard James of Kessler and Salamini, respectfully showing the court that the mother is in New York. Father is in Georgia with minor children, and father should be designated the primary custodial parent with primary decision-making authority until further order of the court, and files his response to petitioner's amended motion for a temporary hearing. Listen, I'm no judge, but if it's only two parents, okay, it's the mama and the daddy, okay? The mama is not here in Georgia. The daddy is in Georgia. The children live in Georgia. Now, who should the children be given to in this situation? I don't know. Like, Kandi ain't gonna take them in New York, but I digress. Y'all say, anyway. It says Kayla Needs Tucker, the mother, filed her motion for temporary hearing, blah, 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 on January 8th. After father filed his response on February 4th, the mother filed her amended motion on February 9th. In light of mother's pattern of filing pleadings containing disparaging allegations and subsequently amending them after father responds. Remember, I told you that. Remember, I told you that every single time Todd responds to Kandi, Kandi wants the big dog Todd and come back and put other allegations into the media. This is messy. Okay. It also says that in an effort to reframe or expand her claims. Like, remember, I told you she had already made those claims, so I guess she expounded on them. Okay. It says father files this response to the amended motion to ensure the record accurately reflects the party's circumstances and to preserve his rights. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Kandi responds to his response. Okay. Now, this says, as reflected herein, many of the allegations contained in the amended motion either restate matters previously raised or attempt to recast the parties' caregiving and financial arrangements in a manner inconsistent with the actual day-to-day parenting dynamic, including the fact that father has been the custodial parent residing with the minor children while mother has primarily resided out of state since November 2025. Now, y'all, let me know what's the truth and what ain't, because it seems like Todd is telling the truth. The mother hasn't been here. She's been out of the state since November 2025. Okay. You said the judge see through it all? Well, I hope so. It said the father remains committed to resolving these matters through appropriate legal channels and structured processes, while mother has given interviews. Ooh, this is messy. Kandi has given interviews to television programs, magazines, and other media outlets during the pendency of this action. Father has not and has deliberately refrained from engaging in personal or inflammatory allegations so as not to escalate conflict, undermine mother's reputation, or litigate these issues in the court of public opinion, but instead to maintain focus on the minor children's well-being. You better write, Randy Kessler. OMG. I don't know. Listen, this is a battle of the attorneys at this point. This ain't even about Kandi or Todd. This is who is the best attorney, because these documents are, they're just amazing. Because he just basically broke it down in a nutshell by saying Kandi been going to the press. Kandi is this big time celebrity that she said she was in her documents, and all she has been doing is doing interviews, going to magazines and media outlets, and we have not heard Todd do one interview, not a one. Mm-mm. And so it says Todd is just focused on the children. It seems like Kandi is just focused on her reputation. Okay, and he's saying that he's been trying to protect her reputation by not saying nothing. Oh, child, you better work. Okay, now it also says, in that same spirit, the parties have made good faith efforts to resolve these issues privately and have participated in multiple mediation sessions and appear close to reaching a full agreement regarding custody, parenting time, and child support. However, in the absence of a final resolution, it is in the minor children's best interest that the court enter a clear and enforceable temporary order addressing custody, parenting time, and support, designating father as the temporary primary physical custodian and vesting him with final decision-making authority. There you go again, Todd saying, I want to be the boss. Okay, it should be my decision where the kids go, when they go. It is what it is. Kandi, this is not your decision. Since they be with me all the time, I want to be the primary physical custodian. Okay, you said Kandi is Nanny McPhee. What? The kids shouldn't be rearranged. The parents need to compromise. Okay. You said, wait for it. Todd will be on RHOA with one of them housewives. He's setting it up. No. Well, okay. You said, now you see why Phaedra won. Randy to Portia. I didn't do well with Cordell. It will be different with Simon. And now Todd and Kandi. Child, it look like Randy trying to run these pockets, because at the end of the day, like I told you, the winners in any of these situations are the attorneys, because the attorneys are billing them every single time they pound out one of these motions and one of these amended complaints and one of these this, that, and the third. Like the attorneys are getting paid, okay? And at the end of the day, it's gonna be like Simon and Portia. They're gonna end up putting a lien on Candy's house for $500,000. But anyway, it says father admits the statements. Okay, father admits that he didn't go to whatever she said. Father admits the statement in paragraph 2 that he went out of town. Okay, he's admitting that he did what she said. Okay, father admits that he lives in the guest house and he don't pay no rent. That's what he said. He admitted that. Okay, father admits that he don't put no money in the children's extracurricular activities. He admit all of that. It says father admits in part the statements contained in paragraph 4. The mother's admitted to the extent that the minor children have had 2 birthday celebrations. Remember, Candy said he didn't pay for neither one of the birthday parties, but he came. It says since the initiation of this action, by way of further response, mother did not consult with father regarding the planning. Y'all remember I said that if she planned it, how she gonna say that he need to pay? Okay, she didn't consult with him about the planning, budgeting, timing, guest list, or logistics of either celebration. Father was not afforded an opportunity to participate in the decision making process, contribute ideas, share in the planning, or otherwise co-parent in connection with these milestone events. Instead, father was simply sent an invitation as though he was a guest rather than an actual parent. At no time did mother request financial contribution, discuss shared expenses, or otherwise indicate that she expected father to share in the costs associated with the party. I told y'all, I'm like, you been paying. How you gonna act like he's supposed to pay now? He ain't been paying. It says mother unilaterally undertook the planning and execution of these events and excluded father from meaningful involvement. Mother now attempts to reference these same celebrations as though father failed to participate or contribute. Mother cannot deliberately marginalize father's role in the minor children's lives, exclude him from parental decision makers, and then attempt to recast the exclusion as neglect or lack of support. Like you can't say that I don't have to pay and then I don't pay, and then you say I didn't pay because I didn't want to. You can't do that, Kandi. Any alleged lack of involvement was the direct result of mother's unilateral conduct. Child, these attorneys be writing, don't they? It says Kandi got money in reserves and in Mama Joyce's name. Kandi didn't let Todd know all her assets. Okay, how you know? He said excuses. If he wanted to be involved, he would be. He lives there. Oh, okay. He said he been in the guest house since the wedding reception. We don't know where he been. Now Todd knows he wasn't studying, planning no party. Well, I mean, but if Todd knows that and Kandi knows that, don't be acting like he didn't do nothing when you didn't ask him to do nothing. That's all he's saying. You didn't ask him to do nothing. It also says, what did it say? Father admits in part the statements contain blah blah blah. To the extent that father has been residing in the guest house located on the marital residence property since the party separation. Just like y'all said, Portia ain't got to leave the marital residence. Todd said he ain't got to leave the marital residence. Okay. It says father shows that mother unilaterally removed father from the marital residence by directing her family members to relocate father's personal belongings to the guest house without father's consent and without court intervention. Some people say that's an illegal eviction, but considering that he wasn't technically evicted, like his stuff wasn't on the curb, like they didn't take it off the property. I don't know. Is that an eviction? Y'all let me know. What the lawyers at in the chat? Because I don't know, but that's interesting that she packed up all his stuff out of the house, out of the marital house, and put it in the guest house without his consent. You said it ain't his house. I mean, that ain't Portia's house either, but she's still in it. I'm just saying. He's still on the property. Okay. He said, Michelle, stop. Michelle, what? What y'all want me to do? I'm on Team Truth. I am actually reading the documents. I'm not going off feelings. I'm going off facts. Okay. So however y'all feel, I'm just going off of what I am reading in the court documents and I am living. Okay. It also says father did not voluntarily vacate the residence. Rather, in an effort to minimize conflict and in consideration of the best interest of the minor children, father acquiesced to mother's actions to preserve peace and stability and to avoid disruption to the minor children. It kind of looks bad that Kandi would do that because the kids still stay there. right? You can't. How you gonna kick? You ain't even in town. How you gonna kick out the daddy and the kids still there? Like you kick out the kids too? Like I don't understand. Y'all let me know. You said don't worry about Candy's fans. It's all good. I mean, I understand we all are not gonna agree. Okay, we all are not gonna agree. Somebody said it was a illegal eviction. Candy's family is wrong. Okay, all right, okay, all right. I see. Hey, Radiance, what you say? I am shocked to see people condoning that bullshit. Even tenants have rights. Exactly. Like if it, like I said, if the gender roles were reversed, if this was a rich man and his stay-at-home wife, y'all would be like, it's wrong. You know, he should be put in jail. He can't take her stuff out the house and put it in the guest house. He can't do that. Like, are you kidding me? If the father said, I'm gonna hire a caregiver, she's rarely there, and I would prefer that the caregiver take care of the children, a judge is not going to allow that because the biological parent is still there. Okay. You said if it was reversed, people would have dragged. Okay. Not Candy never wanted them kids. You don't know what Candy wanted. If that's what you get when you play around with God and your marriage, okay, listen. Not Michelle want to be married to Todd. No, Michelle. No, Michelle is not a fool. I done already said that. I ain't fighting nobody over my assets, honey. That's Candy. Let me finish. Finish. It says, so I think a judge is gonna look at that and be like, you know, I don't know, because I feel a ways, especially when it says to avoid disruption to the minor children. Again, the children were still in the house, but you took the father stuff out and put it in the guest house, knowing that in Candy's complaint or amended complaint, she did say that Todd drives them to school and drives them to certain events. So if that's the case, why would you separate him from the kids knowing that you are not even in town? I don't know. It says prior to the separation, the parties maintain a joint account into which father regularly deposited funds for the benefit of the household and minor children, and from which mother routinely withdrew funds to pay expenses. Upon forcing father into the guest house, mother stopped accessing the aforementioned account and represented that she would assume responsibilities for expenses because father was no longer residing inside the main dwelling. Mother now attempts to reframe and weaponize this self created financial arrangement as evidence of financial instability or neglect, while the timing and sequence of events demonstrate otherwise. Candy was like, I'm separating everything. You ain't got, listen, we don't need this joint account no more. I'm gonna pay it. Okay. But she didn't expect Todd to fight. That's the thing. And now that Todd is fighting, she acted like Todd hadn't been contributing, but Todd say he has. And I'm sure if this is in court documents, there are some receipts or some exhibits that show that there was at least another account where he was contributing. Okay. It also says mother's decision to stop utilizing the joint account was not the result of any refusal by father to contribute, but rather a calculated effort to reshape the narrative in anticipation of litigation. Ooh, y'all remember y'all was saying that Kandi was selling stuff and Kandi was closing restaurants and Kandi was doing all this in anticipation of litigation. And this might be one of the things that she did. She stopped using that account to say that, you know, Todd wasn't paying nothing. Okay. You said Randy wouldn't allow Todd to lie about something like that. Okay. Well, you said roll the clip where Kandi at the reunion saying she can buy every motherfucker here. She did say that. What man would choose not to help financially for his wife and kids? Well, Todd said he didn't do it. Okay. Todd said he was contributing. He said Mama Joyce is laughing. Okay. Anyway, it goes on to say, Father shows at all that he has at all times remained willing and able to provide financial support for the household and the minor children, and that any change in the financial structure was initiated solely by the mother. Now you know it's a clip out there of Kandi saying that Todd pays half of everything. There are clips, okay? And y'all know they say that, you know, they might use some of these clips as proof or exhibits, but Kandi has said publicly, just like she been doing interviews about this divorce, that Todd, you know, paid half of the household. Todd was doing this and Todd was doing that. So I don't know if she was just doing that to, you know, make him seem like he was the man of the house, but if she lied, it's gonna make her look bad. He said Todd just said he was contributing, so it depends on who you believe. Exactly. Exactly. You said that was a decade ago. Well, they've been married for a decade, so how long can it be? Okay. He says, Father denies the statements obtained in paragraph 6 of Mother's amended motion. Mother's allegations attempt to shift the focus away from her extended and ongoing physical absence from the minor children and her substantial reliance on a third party caregiver while simultaneously minimizing father's consistent and daily involvement in the minor children's lives. That's what I said when I was reading it. Because at the end of the day, Kandi, you aren't there. It's still I understand you have a caregiver that's there 24 hours a day, but it's not you. It's not you. And if the father is there, like anyway, it says since the party separation, father has maintained an active and routine parenting role. Father wakes the minor children, prepares them for school, and transports them to school on school mornings. Although the nanny retrieves the children from school in the afternoons, father spends time with the minor children upon their return home, supervises and engages with them, and participates in their evening routine, including dinner and bedtime responsibilities. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want my children just to grow up with the nanny. I'm gonna need my mama or my daddy there, if not both. Okay. It says mother's allegations omit a critical fact. During her extended out of state engagement, mother has been physically absent from the minor children for significant periods of time. During those periods, the day to day parenting responsibilities were carried out by the father in coordination with the nanny. In practice, father and the nanny functioned as the consistent caregiving team responsible for the minor children's daily structure, school routines, extracurricular activities, and emotional support. Mother now attempts to recast father's steady involvement as minimal while downplaying her own absence. Okay, Randy, you better write. You better write. What y'all think about this and what Todd is alleging? What do y'all think? You say a caregiver is not a custodial parent. A nanny doesn't automatically replace a parent. Okay, I agree. I agree. You said, didn't Todd say Kandi had more money than everyone that was in the room except Andy Cohen? I mean, Kandi said it herself. She could pay for everybody in here. Somebody on Facebook, Shauna said, Michelle, new page, court documents with swingers. What? Hold on. Why is Todd fighting so hard for full custody? Why can't he just share custody with Kandi if it's not about the money? Because it's probably about the money. It's clearly about the money. He been there 11 years. I feel like Todd feel like he need to leave with something. Okay. And he had these kids and he'll take care of I'll take care of the kids, pay me instead of paying the nanny. That's probably what he thinking. Kandi and Todd gonna get back together. They might, child. You said these documents is making Kandi is being painted out to be a trash mom. Listen, I'm just reading the documents. I did not write them. Okay. It says father denies the allegations contained in paragraph 7 of mother's amended motion by way of further response. Mother unilaterally chose to employ a full-time live-in nanny due to her professional schedule and limited availability. The nanny was retained to accommodate mother's absence, not because father was unwilling or unavailable to parent. See, I told you. While mother attempts to portray the nanny services as distinct from father's involvement, the reality is that father and the nanny function as the primary caregiving team. So clearly, yeah, Todd is making it to be like the nanny is just a replacement for the mother. The mother is the one that ain't here. I'm here. Okay. Um, let me see what else. It says father admits in part the statements contained in paragraph 8 of mother's amended motion to the extent that both parties have traveled for employment opportunities during the marriage and since the birth of minor children. By way of further response, mother's comparison is misleading. 2 discrete weekend trips do not equate to a nearly 5-month out-of-state residency. Boom. OMG. I mean, where is team Kandi Cody over here? Because Todd and his attorney basically said he went on 2 weekend trips, but Kandi been gone for 5 months. Now, which one is worse? Okay. You said I wouldn't call her a trash mom. She's just not as present, which we all have seen over the 10 years we've seen them on TV. Exactly. Exactly, Radiance. Um, Riley even says she's always gone. Okay. Well, you said she wants the nanny to watch Todd. That's what it seemed like, because in the documents, in her documents, she was saying that Todd wasn't there and Todd had left. And Todd, on the nights that he choose to come home, like now it's like Todd need to answer to her like he's like her kid, like he's a teenager. I don't know. She works. She is not in the club. Okay, well, they say he worked. He was taking that show all around the country. That should hurt her feelings that the nanny is more of a mom than you. I'm sorry, women as mothers can't have it all. Something will lack. And I mean, I don't think the nanny is more of a mother than her, but Kandi has goals and aspirations. And to me, this is to me, this is just my humble opinion. It seems like Kandi put those goals and aspirations above being a mother to her children. Like at the end of the day, we all know she has minor kids, and minor kids need their parents. Okay. And in doing so, she can't have her minor kids with her flying from New York and staying in New York and doing Broadway. She can't have her minor kids with her when she on the road with Escape. She can't. So, it is what it is. Um, and we can't have it all, but let Todd raise them. And if you want to, she got the money, like y'all say, she got the money to pay for the nanny and the caregiver, the this, the that. Let her continue doing it. I mean, I don't understand what the fight is about. It just seems like to me this is just a tug of war that doesn't need to be a tug of war. Like she keeps saying that he's a great father, but she don't want to give him sole custody. And to me, it's only because she'll be losing control. Okay. It says, to the extent mother speculates father, quote, may travel more extensively in the future, such conjuncture is not evidence and should not serve as a basis to limit or undermine his custodial rights. It says, father admits in part the statements contained in paragraph 9 of mother's amended motion to the extent that father has traveled domestically and internationally since the initiation of the divorce action. By way of further response, father's December travel was of short duration and was not undertaken with any intent to avoid parental obligations. It says, father denies statements contained in paragraph 10. What was that statement? Hold on, flip over here and see what that statement was. Paragraph 10. Paragraph 10 was that he committed to domestic travel and most recently traveled to Breckenridge, Colorado. He has a history of traveling to promote his films on promotional tours throughout the United States. Despite traveling for business for personal benefits, Todd failed to pay child support to the petitioner or pay any money towards any of the children's monthly expenses. He's denying that. He said that ain't true. Okay, that's what it said. 11, it says father denies the statements contained in paragraph 11. By way of further response, throughout the marriage and since the birth of the children, caregiver responsibilities have been shared between the parties and supported by a full-time nanny. While mother has maintained professional commitments requiring frequent travel, father has consistently participated in and undertaken substantial day-to-day parenting responsibilities, including morning routines, school transportation, supervision, after school attendance at extracurricular activities, and bedtime routines. Like, I mean, even if she says that what he did was performative, the whole daddy daycare thing, the Instagram thing, like even if she says that, there's no way for her to prove that at this point. Like he's been there and a lot of times she wasn't. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Um if you don't want to hear no more, you can go because I'm still reading. It says, paragraph 13 says, to the extent that a response is necessary, father denies any implication that he has interfered with mother's parenting time or attempted to use minor children as leverage in these proceedings. Father has consistently supported the minor children financially and has remained actively involved in their daily lives. Any dispute between the parties have arisen from scheduling disagreements and mother's unilateral decision making, not from threats, coercion, or attempts to restrict access. Throughout mother's pleading, the emphasis appears to be on financial contributions and discretionary spending rather than on the minor children's best interests. Ooh, child. And the importance of consistent hands-on parenting. hmm You said Kandi should have just waited until those kids were grown. Okay. Well, she ain't got all that time, child. I'm just saying, nobody want to do all that when they 60 years old. Why does he want this public and not sealed? He doesn't care if it impacts his kids. Like everything else has been public. Hell, they went through a surrogacy journey public. Like, what are you saying? Why shouldn't it be public? They were on they went through an argument about their prenuptial agreement publicly. Like they were arguing with their mamas publicly. Why shouldn't this be public? And how would this affect the minor kids? Like showing the surrogacy journey would affect them, I think, more than them getting divorced and arguing over who should care for them. Like I would want my parents to argue over me. Go ahead, care for me, mom, dad. Anyway, there's nothing in here that would affect the children one way or the other. Because she said that he's a good parent, and he said that she's a good parent. Like, so where's that? What else? What else? What else? Blah 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 blah. Father seeks the entry of a parenting plan that ensures consistent, predictable, and meaningful parenting time for both parents, reflecting the best interests of minor children, not one dictated by mother's professional schedule or financial positioning. Okay, there it is. Because basically, like I said before, Kandi is big dogging. Basically, but I'm a professional. I'm a celebrity. I'm on Broadway. I'm doing all these things. And so she's separating herself from him, basically saying, I pay for everything. It's my money. It's my house. These are my children. They need to do what I say. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but it'll be interesting. That we have two more. Paragraph 15, father admits he is a good and involved father because, she said it and he's admitting it. He agrees. To the extent a response is required, father denies any implication that he has failed or refused to financially support the minor children and requests that child support be determined strictly in accordance with OCGA 19615 based upon the parties' respective incomes and parenting time allocation under the statutory guidelines rather than unilateral expenditures or one party's ability to outspend the other. There it is, too. Now, you know that child support in Georgia is based off of income, okay? And if Todd don't have no income on paper and Kandi do, then Kandi don't pay child support, period. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know where the attorneys at in the chat. Where are the lawyers in the chat, okay? Where are the fathers and mamas in the chat? Y'all let me know, okay? You said, boom, there it is. You said Georgia is not known for giving primary custody to fathers. Why they did? Ludacris got primary custody. Usher got primary custody. Why they don't give primary custody to fathers? They do that all the time. He said, so pay some bills, Todd. Anyway, let me see. It says, paragraph 16, mother's motion does not require a response from father as it contains mother's request for relief. To the extent that a response is necessary, father states that these issues should be addressed at the 60-day status conference. So, there's that, what Todd is asking for, that her amended motion be denied. Okay. That saying that it contradicts father's request for relief. That a rule Nasai issue scheduling this matter be heard at the 60-day conference on February 19th. That's coming up in a few days. That the court established a temporary custodial arrangement in the best interest of the children, with father being awarded legal custody, final decision-making authority, and final primary physical custody of the children until further order of the court, and that this court determine all matters related to the minor children in accordance with OCGA 1993 and 19615. And that father be granted such other and further relief as the court in its discretion deems just and proper. They're gonna ask for attorney's fees, child. They're gonna ask for attorney's fees. This is interesting. He said, Michelle, Todd ain't all that you think he is. What you act like I think Todd is. I don't think nothing one way or the other. I just think in these documents, it's just clear that Kandi knew what she got. You get what you pay for. Okay. And so she paid for it for as long as she could. And you can't just stop paying. You can't just stop paying. So, it is what it is. You say, woo, this would have been a great storyline for Kandi. Kandi said they was not paying her enough. They offered her a little bit of money to come back, and they really lowballed her, and so she chose not to come back. But there is that. You say it's non-refundable. Okay, she definitely knew. Shout out to CC, who has granted y'all so many memberships. Okay, Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think about Kandi and Todd and this ongoing divorce, because clearly every single time Todd responds, Kandi is gonna respond or amend or do something to, and then it's crazy because again, we just got you talking about Todd's response a few days ago. And guess what goes viral? Kandi. And to me, it's like she's playing the media. We know she's playing the media because Kandi has been known to do that. I mean, she has the TMZ Connect. She has the People Magazine Connect. And even in Todd's motion, it said that Todd has not spoken to media yet. Okay. But one thing Todd has been doing is trolling y'all because, Todd went on his page. Todd went on his page and said he stays scheming. Child, that's what he said. Y'all remember that? Hold on. Let me go see. Todd said he stays scheming. Hold on. Like this video, please, and thank you. Like this video. Hold on. You said that's dirty. I don't understand what is going on between I don't know. But Todd said he stays scheming. I can't find it. You said he's a scheming scammer. Hold on, I think it's in my Discord. Like this video as y'all get in here. Y'all know we still got some time. We're gonna talk about TS Madison and Dia Whisperer, Tasha K, all of the drama that's been going on. I can't wait to get into that next. But before I get there, oh, here it is right here. Shout out to Radiance, posted this in my Discord. It was No Chaser TV that captured it. Todd Tucker with a message, okay? And it is gonna be copyrighted, but I'll play a few seconds.
Salute.
Todd said he stays scheming, child. Y'all know the song. Hold on, let me see. I gotta skip it a little bit. Hold on, I gotta skip it again. Stay scheming. And one again with me. Y'all remember that song? So Todd said he stays scheming, child. That's what he said, because y'all keep saying it's a scheme set up by Todd. He said he stays scheming. If that's the case, if this is a scheme, then he gonna continue to scheme. Hold on. Somebody said, I just saw an advertisement that Kandi is gonna be on the Kelly show soon. Well, good for Kandi. Shout out to Kandi. And then she gonna keep talking about that damn divorce, child. She gonna keep talking about that damn divorce. Anywho, you said he's for the street. I guess Mr. Burruss. You said he's playing his scammers anthem. Well, I mean, like I said, this is all we have heard from Todd. Kandi did full-fledged interviews. Like, I'm just saying, like, what more do we need to hear from Kandi at this point? Kandi say she, she working, she doing this. Divorce is hard, blah, 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 blah. Who is it? Oh, who is that? I don't even know who that is. Chandrea Robinson says she never thought Kandi and Todd would get divorced. Oh, that's somebody from the OLG game show. Let me go see what she said. Shout out to No Chaser, because I don't know these people. Chandrika. Hold on. What she say?
A little bit in the news, your former bosses are, no longer together. And did that come to a shock to you and some of your other castmates, or is it something that like you could have seen coming, even just working with them briefly?
Honestly, I would have never thought in like a million years, because I always just felt like she was just the original Real Housewives. Because I feel like Housewives of Atlanta, none of them was married. Yeah. And as long as Kandi was married and held it down, I was like, I love her. I love her. And like, that's what real relationships is, and being in love, and they don't want to shine light on that. But it's like, when it ended, I was like, now who do we have to look up for? Like,
who was no shade, but who was looking at Kandi and Todd's marriage as like couple goals?
Who relationship is strong and is lasting? you know, it's not about the money and it's not about this and about that. We don't really have anybody else. So I was definitely hurt.
All right, shout out to No Chaser the podcast for the clip. Okay, um, people are saying that they never expected Kandi or Todd to break up, but you know, at the end of the day, Mama Joyce expected it. Y'all keep saying that everybody expected it, that we knew it was gonna happen. You said it's cheaper to keep them. Thank you, lawyer Tasha. I appreciate it, friend. You said most felt like they would eventually because they allow other women in marriages. Yeah, yeah, yeah. EGOT. Two got by your own. Not you got by your own husband. I can't stand y'all. Radiant said Kandi came on as an engaged woman. Exactly. And she was single until Todd. She was not the original married woman on RHOA. Right. Nene was the original married woman on RHOA. Who else was married? Deshaun Snow, Lisa Wu. Okay, Kim had Kim was a side chick, the white side chick. And who else? I can't remember nobody else. Oh, well, Portia came on. She was married for a hot second. But yeah. Nobody's relationship should be couple goals. People are different. You right. You right. I do think Kandi loved Todd, but I also think her career as it has always been is her priority. She doesn't know how to balance it all. Well, hopefully they will, figure it out. Because at the end of the day, we gonna keep reading it. Everybody gonna keep reading it. It's not just me, y'all. And like I be living for these court documents. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of reading these damn court documents every day. But I do live for them because I love the way that the attorneys write and way they form it, and it's your side versus his side. This the wife's side versus the husband's side. But at the end of the day, like we can't negate the fact that Ty is there every day. We can't. So, there's that. Moving on, like this video, please, and thank you. Like this video. Next up on this agenda. I'm gonna give y'all 60 seconds to like this video. We talking about Tasha K, TS Madison, and the DL Whisperer and the drama that ensued. Like this video. Shout out to my AI Michelle. Okay, shout out to AI Michelle. If you're not following me on Sora, you should. Now, this is so messy and I live for it, but Tasha K last night actually revealed that TS Madison has been involved in what could be considered a little bit of fraud. Okay, between him and his co-founder of his transgender starter house. I don't know what's going on, but at the end of the day, the DL Whisper was involved in exposing TS Madison. Okay, he had called out Dominique Morgan, who is the co-founder of the TS Madison Starter House. Now, I did a video a while ago talking about this. Okay, we pulled up the receipts. Me and Josh was dragging them. We was like, how they gonna have the dang transgenders out there in Conyers and it ain't on no bus route or nothing? These people are in transition. They supposed to be homeless. Okay, how they gonna get around to their job and to their medical care? Like, what's gonna happen? But apparently, according to Tasha K, child, and the DL Whisperer and everybody else, TS Manhands ain't got nobody in the house. It's only one person in the house. It's supposed to be a house filled with people. Hold on. I want to hear. Hold on. I'm just going to pull it up. Y'all know the drill. Copyright disclaimer, section 107 of the Copyright Act. Allowance is made for what? Fair use. So Nyla says and Tasha K partnered on this expose. And I was in the chat and I was like, oh, child, let me listen. Let me listen and see what's going down. Okay. Hold on. We're going to listen to a little bit of it. A little bit of it. Hold on. Like this video, please, and thank you. Like this video. So there is Tasha K. And she pulled up the Instagram of Dominique Morgan, and it is showing that Dominique Morgan is the co-founder of the TS Madison Starter House. Okay. And TS Madison and Dominique Morgan allegedly are being accused of being involved in some schemes. Like they're saying that the taxes ain't right. They saying that the nonprofit ain't non-profiting. They saying that Dominique Morgan is actually scheduled to be arraigned or sentenced on some charges. Now we played this news clip a while ago, and I'm gonna play Tasha K too. But we played this news clip a while ago about the Dominique Morgan, okay? And people y'all keep talking about it. They was lying on that person. They was lying, but apparently the damn feds didn't say they was lying because Dominique Morgan was charged with grand larceny and falsifying business documents. Hold on, let's listen to the news footage. Copyright disclaimer in section 107 of the Copyright Act. Allowance is made for what? Fair use. We're gonna listen to the Caucasians tell us what the Dominique Morgan had did.
She built a reputation in Omaha as an advocate and author, but now facing 24 criminal counts, one of which carries up to 15 years in prison if convicted.
I'm Melissa Wright.
Not he done came from Omaha all the way to the Atlanta.
On the Dominique Morgan Street, named after a trans activist known for her.
Now he got a street name after him.
Her work in Omaha. On Wednesday, we found out that she's being charged for stealing $100,000 from a New York-based nonprofit. Dominique Morgan made.
Okay, there he is. I guess that's TS Madison's whatever of the TS Madison Starter House. And so he's allegedly about to go to jail.
Made a name for herself in Omaha after being released from prison. Morgan began her executive director position at Black and Pink in 2018.
So they been scamming, or he been scamming like other nonprofits. Hold on, we listening though.
Dedicated to helping LGBTQ plus people who've been incarcerated. In 2021, she told.
And again, this is TS Madison's co-founder now. He stole allegedly, or he's been accused of stealing over $100,000 from another nonprofit.
Told us in an interview.
And if we worked just as hard to pull people in as we work to push people away sometimes, we would really get the change we want to see.
In 2022, she moved to New York for an executive director position at the Oak
Not bouncing from state to state, child.
Project, according to her LinkedIn. That's the organization she's accused of taking almost $100,000 from. The group's initial mission, providing resources to the Black trans community.
You didn't know he was trans. Do you need glasses?
Morgan went further, raising money she said would go to bail out indigent people from jail. Okra's board asked for receipts. The district attorney says Morgan handed over some from Fulton County, Georgia, and Douglas County, Nebraska. Investigators say, quote, no such persons were arrested.
Now he came to Atlanta. He came down here to Fulton County to steal, to pretend like he was bailing people out of jail, and there was no receipts for 23 people who were allegedly arrested in Fulton County and Douglas County, Nebraska, and they were never found. But he used this $100,000 to bail out these imaginary people.
Arrested at that time. Prosecutors say Morgan used it.
Somebody said $100,000 isn't a lot of money. It's a lot of money when it's stolen from somebody.
$99,000 she transferred into her personal account in 2022 for a California closet renovation, car payments, shopping, and other expenses, including meals. Morgan is now charged with grand larceny and falsifying 23 business records. If convicted, she could be back in prison for up to 15 years. I did reach out to Morgan for comment. She told me to talk to her attorney. I'm still waiting to hear back from him.
this was this was a few months ago. The attorney never got back to the lady, honey. But the story actually went all the way up to the New York Times. Hold on. Since y'all be acting like stuff ain't. Hold on. It went to the New York Times. Hold on. Here you go, right here. Child, this a mess. Hold on. Can it open? I ain't gonna log in now. I can't even log in. Hold on. Let me see. So the New York Times had it. It says ex-leader of Black transgender group is charged with siphoning money from an organization called the Okra Project that she said would be used to pay bail. It was on The Advocate. Black trans. Hold on. It's a whole bunch of them. Hold on. Because people keep saying that it's a lie. Dominique Morgan was indicted on 1 count of second-degree grand larceny and 23 counts of first-degree falsifying business records during her time as executive director of the Okra Project. Now, who would hire this person who is still actually being investigated and indicted on charges of stealing almost $100,000 from an organization? Now you in Atlanta. It says Morgan, a Black trans woman, is accused of transferring $99,000 to her personal account in July 2022 under the guise of using the money to pay for bail funds, but instead using it on a $19,000 California closet renovation, car payments for a Mercedes-Benz, and other expensive purchases of apparel, clothing, and meals. The theft of nonprofit funds deprives communities of critical resources, erodes public trust, and cheats donors who give in good faith. Okay. It says Okra discovered the fraud after they asked Morgan for proof of the payments towards bail, and she submitted receipts for 23 individuals supposedly arrested in Fulton County, Georgia, and Douglas County, Nebraska. After auditing, Okra discovered that the receipts were forged and that no such people were detained in those counties at that time. So yeah, so apparently she's scheduled to they are scheduled to be sentenced on that soon. Now, here's what Tasha K and them discovered. I wanted to go back in time and show y'all that first. And now this is what Tasha K said. And y'all know the drill. Copyright disclaimer in Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Allowance is made for what? Fair use. We are researching.
Now have gag orders and restraining orders and protective orders on the DL Whisperer for trying to put out this information, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I ain't gagged. Because the DL Whisperer has been trying to tell y'all that these men in wigs don't like you. They don't care for you. And this is what they do. They cosplay, they lie about who they are as people. And then they turn around and lie and say what they gonna do to help they people. Whole time it's to help themselves with the money that we donate, the money that the federal government donates to these nonprofits that Dominique sits on the board to and has since funneled to TS Madison's Starter House, who he is co-founder of.
And so TS Madison has consistently said, I'm rich. I don't steal. I don't have to steal. But then you got somebody who's still sitting right next to you. You got somebody who is the co-founder of your organization. Now, the gag is what's interesting to me. They do stay scamming, don't they? They stay scamming. And you know, TS Madison claims that he donated his house, right, to this organization to allow transgender people in after they've been locked up or whatever. Today, it's been over a year or two since, you know, he said it, right? Today, according to Tasha K and the DL Whisperer and everybody, there has only been one person to even be in the house. Okay. So it's interesting. Hold on, we're gonna listen to a little bit.
Okay. So this is the reason why they don't like him.
That's right.
All right. Go ahead, Nyla. Pick it up, baby. We got more receipts to unwind, baby. Let's go.
Okay, so essentially what it appears that Dominique is doing is the same thing that he's done for other organizations. I can't pronounce it perhaps, but it's NAESM. And this is a
So listen, I want y'all to pay attention. So allegedly, they were targeting the DL Whisperer for basically amplifying the fact that Dominique Morgan was a scam. Okay, everybody already knew it. It had been on the New York Times and all of that. And so when he started doing that, that's when they began to dox the DL Whisperer. They found out his real name. They began to pull his address and put it on the internet. They began to pull his social and put it on the internet. And then TS Manhands even was reviewing his damn credit report during a live stream. Now, after that happened, the DL Whisperer actually crashed out and said that he wanted to fight TS Manhands. Okay, you know, TS Manhands don't fight men. You know, he only fight women. You know, remember he threatened me and I had to get a restraining order on him after he doxed me. Remember he threatened Kaya and she had to get a restraining order after, you know, she left him. Remember he threatened Tasha K. You remember he threatened Jess Hilarious. He threatens all these women. And as soon as a man who is in the LGBTQ confronts him, calls him to the carpet, tells him, oh, hell no, you ain't gonna dox me. Come out here and face me man to man. Then all of a sudden he is demure. He can't fight. Oh my God, I'm in fear of my safety. You in fear of your safety, but you go on your platform every day and drag women. You go on your platform every day and talk about women and call them fish and say how much you hate them and the disdain that you have for them and that what you'll do to them. You do all of these things. You pull guns out online. You do all these things. But as soon as a man call you to the carpet, now you scared. Interesting.
Another non-for-profit. NASM. Okay. Yes. This is.
Oh, and you know what it's giving me? It's giving me that the DL Whisperer had the receipts. The DL Whisperer must have struck a nerve. The DL Whisperer also said that TS Manhand's new house, which he bought for 1.2 million or something like that, is only worth 500,000. And apparently, you know, that might be some mortgage fraud involved. Apparently, maybe. Who knows?
It's another organization that is specifically for trans women of color and, you know, for their protections, their rights, and all of this kind of stuff. This organization is another one where Dominique also sits on the board. And this organization was used to promote and propel the organization that TS Madison has co-founded with Dominique. So Dominique's scheme, in my opinion, looks like I'm going to help you get a non-for-profit 501(c)(3) status. You put me on the board and we get a budget and I get money. That's literally what it's giving.
That is exactly what it's giving. Shout out to Nyla Says, because I love the way you put this together, Nyla and Tasha, because at the end of the day, it is clear to see. Okay. Now TS Madison has gone and got a restraining order against the DL Whisperer. The DL Whisperer has a restraining order against TS Manhands. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hold on, we're gonna keep looking.
Was giving. So there is a home that TS Madison has that is filed as the non-for-profit organization, the TS Starter House, right?
Mm-hmm. This is the home that she shot Queen's Court in. This was the home that she shot the porn in. This is the home that was publicly put everywhere that everybody went to. This is a home that I sat in. Okay.
Oh, that's that house. Okay, that was the house that was on Queen's Court and all that. And now what's interesting is, you know, TS claims that he donated this house to this nonprofit. But if the house is still in TS Manhand's name, and I've said this before, then TS Manhands is getting profit. Okay, even if the nonprofit is paying the mortgage over there, okay, at the end of the day, any equity, any profit will go into TS Manhand's pocket, which means it is for profit. Oh, somebody get the IRS on the line.
It brought my family to. This is when, according to her, I wasn't phobic against the community. Okay, these are all her allegations, but this is that same home, because remember, she bought a mansion. So now she's living in a a mini mansion in Atlanta. That's not a mansion, what you got, okay? But it's a mini mansion. But go ahead.
Oh, wait a minute. What's this? It says TS Manhan's Metro Atlanta Sanctuary for Black Trans Women is in bloom. So apparently, he getting pressed with this one person he got in the house. He let one person live in the house. One.
TS Madison's Metro Atlanta Sanctuary for Black Trans Women is a bloom, okay? But go ahead, Nala, finish it up.
Okay, so it appears like they're trying to give off that they're trying to help the trans community. But like you said earlier, they're helping themselves. There has only been one participant thus far in that home, and that home has been open since it's going on a year now. Okay. They just got their first.
So apparently there are no homeless transgenders. Okay. There are no transgenders who are in need. There are no transgenders who need housing. There are no transgenders who are in transition. Okay. In the past year. I'm just saying, like, y'all be acting like this is such a grand thing. They had a whole ribbon cutting ceremony, right? They did all of these things. They've been getting pressed about it. Where are the benefactors of the nonprofit money? I need to know.
Their first inhabitant at the end of this past year.
Okay. And that habitant came, this is the starter house that TS Madison has opened to help, house people with HIV and AIDS, to get trans girls off the street because she made it. And after the DL Whisperer allegedly put out that this house was a shell company, okay? A shell company, that is when TS decided to put the first transgender person in the house and did a photo op with it.
As soon as people start calling him out about, where is the money going? Is this really true? Do you really have a nonprofit? We don't believe you. Then all of a sudden he goes and do a photo op with one trans person living in the house. There's only one trans person that have been vetted enough to live in the property. Interesting. Let's finish.
Proof, even though the house has been, according to our research, receiving funding, but where's the funding going if there are no trans women in the house? This is the first.
That's right.
Oh, but keep it going. Keep it going.
One.
Let me let you read it.
That's right. So no, essentially, you.
Right. Where is the funding going if there's only one person in the house? Where, like, how much money y'all sending y'all donations? He had a commercial begging for donations. He does all this stuff for donations. Where's the donations going? If it's not anybody in the house, it's one person in there. Is it going to pay for TS Manhan's new mortgage? Where is it going?
You're dead on the money, because based on the timing of everything, every single thing that the DL Whisperer was putting out and rolling out was leading to it, to the obvious. And so all of this outrage and this organized smear campaign, the shade room going in on him, all of these trans women that are just attacking him and stuff like that, they may not even know the full scope of the scheme. But
I don't like it either. And it's like the whole LGBTQIAX community has been like on DL Whisperer's head simply because Dominique Morgan started, then TS Madison started, and then everybody started, and then he apparently claps back and people get upset, and then it's back and forth. What I don't know. It's interesting to see that like even the shade room did what they considered to be an expose on the DL Whisperer, and then everybody on the damn thing was saying in the comment section was on the DL Whisperer side. So let's finish.
But here's what I need women to understand as well. They are trying to influence, and I'm not saying that you don't have your reasons to do whatever you do politically or whatever, but some of the reasons why they are so against certain policies being put in place is because they are eating literally because of these policies. Okay, this equality for women, that is not the top of their agenda. And it never has been. They are using this that the protected status that they had before some of these things were rescinded as a weapon against you, because if you notice, you can't say anything back to them. If you defend yourself, you're transphobic. For defend.
And I know, Nyla and Tasha, I know. Hold on, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because I need to see what else is going on in here, honey. Sure. Hold on.
Okay.
No, and Dominique absolutely gave the seed money. Absolutely gave the seed money.
Wait, let me go back.
About a year ago.
And have they filed taxes on the starter house? TS Madison?
No.
Explain to us why nonprofits have to file taxes. This is what the DL Whisperer was trying to whisper to y'all, that this whole movement, he's for the LGBTQ, but the T's is strictly for propaganda and funneling money to their needs and wants.
Y'all, this is interesting. I can't wait for Nala to do her expose, because at the end of the day, how did Dominique give TS Manhands seed money for the starter house and is now the co-founder? Where did the money come from if he's under indictment for stealing $100,000 from another nonprofit? What is happening?
Okay.
Yeah.
But tell us how TS Madison is supposed to run this nonprofit. Is she supposed to receive funds from another nonprofit to a nonprofit?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. And Dominique absolutely gave the seed money. Absolutely gave the seed money. With a non-for-profit, this is how it's supposed to work. You're given a budget for nearly every single expense that you can think of, especially inside of a home. And you are supposed to, typically, you're supposed to report monthly for your own records, and then monthly, and then quarterly, you're supposed to submit that over to the government, which they have not.
So in this whole time they done had this starter house, there's not been one quarterly filing, one yearly filing.
Not one.
And not one person living in that house until she did the press conference after the DL Whisperer.
After getting exposed.
So, in my opinion, does it look like, according to your research, that they are misappropriating nonprofit funds for their personal lives and lifestyles?
According to my research, according to my damn near 15 years experience as an accountant, absolutely. That's what it's looking like. Of course, I would need to look at the books, but this is my opinion.
But you remember Dominique, and that's why he's under a plea deal now, is because he and I say he sent over what the government deemed as falsified documents stating that he had bailed several individuals out of jail with money that was given to his nonprofit through a grant, but he illegally used it on himself. And then with one of those nonprofits, he used that nonprofit to fund TS Madison Starter House, is what it's looking like. So which means when we go back to the Kimora Lee Simmons, if that house was funded with illegal money illegally, shouldn't they have to forfeit their house once a final investigation is done?
Oh, yeah, the government coming for that house, they're going to have to come up with some proper receipting, or the government will take what's theirs. Absolutely.
Whoa.
So did you find out able to buy the so-called mansion that she's lived in? Because I did see some receipts that the house is valued at $500,000, but she paid $1 million for it. How's that possible?
Well, look, the only way that's possible is if there is an appraiser that is dirty, along with a lender that is dirty. Don't you remember what was happening after?
There's a lot of shady appraisals and mortgage brokers in Atlanta, honey. A whole bunch of them. And now I don't know why anybody would want to buy a house that is overvalued. I mean, because it won't pan out well for you at the end of the day. Like by the time you try to sell it, you'll be upside down. So, but I mean, if somebody listed for whatever, you can get anybody to say, you know, that is worth that. But would you really want to buy a house? The I always say that too. Like nobody wants to buy the most expensive house in the neighborhood. That is stupid. Like, and so the houses that are in that neighborhood. Remember, we looked at the damn house. You could go back in my archives. Okay, I ain't trying to. I didn't dox nobody, but I was looking at the house when it was listed. Okay, and yeah, every other house in that neighborhood was like 700, 600, 500. So, I mean, I wouldn't want the $1 million house in the neighborhood if all the other houses won't sell for that.
9/11, if you owned a home during that time, people were refinancing, but they were financing for like way over what the appraisal amount was. And then we end up paying for all of that in 2008. That's not legal. Like, honestly, that is the height of criminality when it comes to like loans and real estate and stuff. Like you will go to jail for stuff like that. They don't play about that.
Okay. So why I told y'all to put Trump out of your minds and stuff like
So y'all go over there and watch the full interview. Like what I wanted to like focus on was the DL Whisperer and TS Manhands actually doxing him, you know, posting his information, calling him out. Like he's done that to a lot of other people. You know, most of the time it's men. I mean, it's women. But this time, because the DL Whisperer was so close to exposing all of them, was exposing TS Madison's house, the value of TS Madison's house, had pulled up to TS Madison's house after TS Madison had doxed him. Now, all of a sudden, it's just interesting. Hold on. So I don't know if y'all saw, like TS Madison tried to put out there that he did the exact same thing to me. This is why I am triggered when I talk about this. Because y'all remember when TS Manhands put my phone number all over the internet to have people call me when I exposed that he was stealing stuff from Kaya. Y'all remember that? So it's been a theme with TS Manhands. And apparently when I went and got my restraining order because he put my phone number on the internet, people were like coming to my house. I had people on my Ring camera. Kaya had people coming to where she was and putting stuff on her van. All kind of stuff was going on. So we had the receipts and everything to all of that. We went to the courthouse. We got a restraining order. We went to court. He came to court and was acting like, oh my God, you know, trans get killed every day. And so a judge it was just a comedy of errors at the end of the day. The judge didn't want to see this man in a wig up here playing like he was the damsel in distress. So the judge basically said, you know, all of y'all stay away from all of y'all for a year. And we was like, okay, because that's all we wanted anyway. Okay. So here we are in 2026. I think this happened in 2018. Here we are in 2026 after he allegedly doxed the DL Whisperer, which I believe he did because, again, this is his MO. The DL Whisperer did what I wouldn't do. I wasn't going to pull up to that man's house and try to fight him, but the DL Whisperer did. The DL Whisperer went to his house. Hold on, here it is right here. And recorded it, turned on the camera. And I'm like, clearly, he didn't feel like he was doing that wrong. And here he is.
Madison, bring that ass outside. Look where I'm at, ho. What's up?
And then TS Manhands put the video out of the DL Whisperer driving around in a circle in his neighborhood. Now, see, the gag is that's a public street. The man didn't stop. The man did yell your name out. The man didn't stop. The man didn't walk up to his door. You know, again, that's a public street. I don't know. He was recording. It's really nothing he could do. And so the TS Manhand said that he was in fear of his life, honey. He said, hold on, where is it? I don't even have it. He said he was in fear of his life because he doxed DL and DL pulled up, which is weird to me. Now, then he goes and gets a restraining order against the DL Whisperer. And now the DL Whisperer.
Hey, that bitch home. He gonna get a visitor.
Hold on. It ain't in here. He went and then they put his full, you know, the boy's full name, DL Whisperer's name, Naquan Palmer. He sends the restraining order out to all of these publications, which he did the exact same thing to me, acting like he had got a restraining order against me. He sent the top half and not the full half that said we were granted a restraining order against each other. He sent it to the Shade Room. He sent it to probably Gay Magazine. He sent it to all the media outlets to make it seem like he got a restraining order against Kaya and the blogger from Straight from the A. And it was not true. We all got a restraining order against each other. And it's the same way in this situation. Now he's sending out all this stuff to act like he is in fear of his life and that he has a restraining order against the DL Whisper, when in all actuality, they got restraining orders against each other. Child, hold on. Here is the DL Whisper's restraining order. Let me find it. Shout out to the squad in the chat, honey. Shout out to the squad in the chat. Here is the DL Whisper's restraining order right here. So, but no other news outlets been publishing the DL Whisper's restraining order. Why? Because TS Madison is the same as Kandi. Got his, people that's in his pocket, okay, who will, post things for him, i.e. the Shade Room and all of that. And it's interesting because, again, Naquan Parker versus not Madison, Chanel, Renee Hinton. Child, if you don't put Timothy on that paperwork, it said the respondent must stay 100 yards away from petitioner, and it was signed by a judge right there. Okay, so they both have restraining orders against each other. And then the Shade Room was trying to form this narrative as if, the DL Whisperer was doing something wrong by exposing DL men. But, they drag in the Shade Room too, because it seems like, Justin from the Shade Room was in his feelings because he's a gay man and he's against exposing DL men. But, there is that. I would love to hear from you guys. I've been on for 2 hours. I was over 11 minutes too long, child, trying to run my mouth. Hold on. Let me put the link in here. Share screen. I got to go eat my Hawaiian ribeye. Copy. Paste. Okay. Call in. I ain't got nothing to do. Call in. Y'all my Valentine tonight, honey. Where is the Maddie Man Hands people? Y'all call in. Where is the DL Whisper people? Y'all call in. Where is the Tasha K people? Y'all call in. I need to hear from you guys what you think about all of them actually targeting the DL Whisperer the same way they targeted me. Y'all remember when they was targeting me, doing all that stuff, flagging my channels? They doing the exact same thing to the DL Whisperer now, flagging his channels. He's been losing his Instagram page and getting it back. And again, now TS Manhands has like 1 million subscribers or followers on Instagram. So he gets all his people in his private chat and be having them do stuff. Flag. Y'all go flag. And so again, that's his MO. That's what he does. And so, we know that's the reason why I started my Patreon. That's why I had Patreon for damn near 5 years. That's why I got, more than one channel, because all of this was going on. Okay. You said it's your faulty. This is exactly why you need to write. That is my faulty. More people would know. You're right. I'm going to get back on the chat. I'm going to get back. Don't worry. Just know I'm going to come back. Straight from the A is still there. The receipts are still there. If I want to pull receipts of TS Madison stalking me, I can pull that too. And don't worry, I'm going to pull it in a second. Hold on. Hello, Katie. How are you?
Hey, Michelle. How you doing? Happy Valentine's Day, beautiful.
Happy Valentine's Day, friend.
Michelle.
How you doing? Yes, ma'am.
I'm doing good. But Michelle, I remember. I don't know if you remember this, but my first time calling in, right? I was telling you a story about them arguing at the airport, Kandi and Todd.
Oh, you did.
And you told me to send you the proof. Don Juan was trying to get me fired, so I didn't want to come back on here and expose myself because they be looking. But I had death in the family, so I was off for a minute. But I told you that Kandi was upset that he was giving that girl more attention. Ooh. I told you, I'm gonna say allegedly because we on your channel, but I told you that girl said she didn't want nothing to do with Kandi.
You did tell me. Not you had a tea, child.
Listen, and then they went on there and tried to act like that didn't happen. You remember you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Because they was behind the scene trying to figure out who I was and how I knew.
You're not using your real name, are you?
No.
Okay, good.
But they was Don Juan is a slickster. He was trying to pay for information. My friends held me down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they something else. Kandi think because who she is, that people like her like that. I don't dislike her, but the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
Don't come on here and tell all of the information because you're getting paid for it. And the moment you're not on Real Housewives of Atlanta, you want everything to say stay quiet. Now we're not paying you for your information.
Oh.
You kept us in everything.
I feel like Don Juan has been, spilling certain things to certain people. I feel like they do want to skew a narrative out there about Kandi. That's why I don't necessarily go off of hearsay. I go off the court documents. And so I'm like, y'all can feel however you want to feel, but this is what the court document says. So, and I feel like each attorney has an obligation to, present their client in a truthful light. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is.
And Michelle, long before that happened, and I came up here and told you this, you was keeping us abreast, whatever the word is. You know what I'm trying to say?
Abreast.
When they was on that show, Todd was doing the show while she was getting her hair done. The glam squad. So you been said that he was setting up a scheme. You've been said it. I'm just saying.
I mean, even Stevie Wonder could have said that.
Yeah, but even though he was setting up things, I think he was just exposing her for who she really was.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes getting people to show who they really are. You know what I'm saying? Like she couldn't hide all them faces that she was making. She couldn't backtrack when he was saying she had all them bodies on her. Like this is in 4K.
You're right. Said she didn't even flip the mattress, yeah.
Say she didn't even flip the mattress, and she said she had women and men bodies on her.
He did say it.
And Michelle,
very disrespectful. You're right. I wouldn't want my husband saying that kind of stuff about me.
And the fact that she can't boss him around. He said you can't keep a man up in the house
chained up like a dog.
He said that, didn't he, Michelle?
He sure did. I remember. I had pulled it up. I wish I had the clip now, but he sure did.
And then the two people that was doing the makeup and the hair, were the one that was the thicker one, she was siding with Todd most of the time, so they were pretty pissed off with her because she was seeing it from the other side. But the other one, you could tell that these are, and I'm a woman and I stand with women, but when they wrong, I got to call them out, Michelle. You can't sit up here and say one-sided when the women is getting money from men, and then the other side when the man in the same position, he a bum.
That's what I said. Like at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Like she accusing him of keeping the kids, but not paying nothing. But if he's a good father, what difference does it make if he pay or not? And you're rich, remember? So I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't pay anything. I'm just saying that her argument is falling flat. That's all.
Yeah, but I don't subscribe to her saying all of her stuff is, to me, she just ain't in control of Todd no more. Because he been said that she need to stop wearing those bonnets. He been giving her hints on what she wasn't doing right the whole time. Ooh. And then you put somebody in my life that's more limber, more freakier, more available than you. And probably don't talk as much.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I got, Michelle. And TS man hands.
Oh, look, I found it. Hold on. Look. Hold on. I found it right here. Hold on. It said the speaker locked up like a dog. Let me see. Hold on. He been locked up in the house like a dog. He don't know what to do. He running around in circles, chasing his tail. He want to get out. He want to have a good time. And Kandi won't give him a key to get out the dang gate.
That's a good question.
That's all I'm asking.
Let
a brother go.
No, she's asking you what makes us, how could we be better company?
Let a brother go.
No, that's not, we ain't coming to us separating. So how to
No
make
one can be up under anybody just 24/7. That's not possible.
Y'all sense some emotion. Hold on, let me see this. I say I go everywhere with you. I go everywhere. I even sit here while you get your makeup done. I gotta be friends with your friends. Your friends is my
Jim. It's okay to go watch the game. It's okay to have drinks with the girls. Go get your butt out of here.
And it's okay to be at home with me 24/7 also.
Hey, do not do that.
Right.
Whatever you do, just make sure you communicate with your significant other about how you feel.
And whatever you do, don't be talking to your significant other crazy.
Yeah.
Don't be talking to your significant other crazy. What's happening? Is there some arguments going on? What like?
And coming in us separating. So how to
no one can be up under anybody just 24/7. That's not possible.
She need to take her own advice.
Huh?
She need to take her own advice though.
I'm trying to see when he actually, I'm in the transcript. I'm trying to see what he actually said. You can't keep me locked up like a dog. Because he actually said it. Those weren't my words. Those were his words.
Michelle, you keep coming with the receipts, girl. You be having the receipts.
It's in this video. It's just that this video a little long. I don't want to. Anyway. Y'all can go find it. Y'all go find it. Y'all sense some emotion.
And the makeup artist is the one that want to be like Kandi. When the girl named Jody was saying, I don't really want him around me like that. I want him to be able to do some stuff, and when we come together, we got something to talk about.
Yeah. Well, it's in this video right here that I recorded. When did I record it? October 2023. Kandi Burruss exposed. Todd Tucker collecting evidence for divorce. This was in 2023. It's got 175,000 views. So y'all go watch it. I'll put the link in the chat for y'all. Okay. Well, go ahead. What was you about to say about TS Man Hands?
You got like 5 or 6 videos of this because they was doing this for a while.
Yeah, I do. I got several.
But TS Man Hands, he been going after women for the longest.
Oh
yeah. And Michelle, this man is really weird. He weird, and then they throw that label on you. Like I got transgender people in my life. I'm talking about that one that keep coming after us. Like he want to group everybody together and say we talking about, like if they talk about one black woman, they're not talking about the whole black race. Why do we have to be talking about every one of them? That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
we're not a monolith
for women though, because he calls women as a collective, CUNTs and fish and all of that when he's referring to women. And so he don't be just talking about one woman when he's saying that. He be like, and the fish this and the fish that. Like, who is he talking about?
But you missing one word though, Michelle.
What?
It's the black women that he come for. He don't come for the white. He come for the black women.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's his audience though. So, We just got to do better about who we support, and it is what it is. So he got a huge female fan base and gay male fan base, and they like it. I love it. It is what it is. So the smarter people, you listen and you understand that he really don't like you like that. The same way Junkie Not Evil. We talk about that all the time, but people gonna support who they want to support.
That's facts. But I ain't gonna keep you. I just had to come up here and say I remember telling you about weirdo in the airport.
I remember you giving us the tea, honey, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, always. I love you, girl. And I'm shout out to your mom. Hope she's doing good.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you, friend.
All right.
Bye.
Hang me up, Michelle.
I got you. Hold on, y'all. Before I go, I wanted to because I did find the receipts that I was looking for as far as him me and Kaya had a restraining order against him. And like I said, my website is an archive. I know a lot of people like, you should be writing now, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. I just got burnt out. Like I said, every day for 18 years is a lot to write on the site. Okay. But it is what it is. It's still there. Okay. Here it is right here. This was written April 11th of 2018. Kaya and blogger ATLien granted restraining order against TS Madison. And this was why he was upset again, because he was being exposed the same way the DL Whisperer is exposing him now about that house and about the nonprofit and all of those things. He gets when he is about to be exposed, it seems like he tries to drag the person who is doing the exposing. Okay. So of course, I'm a blogger. I didn't know Kaya or TS Madison at the time, and I had actually talked about the Queen's Court trademark. Okay. I said, who owns the Queen's Court trademark? Kaya says TS Madison stole it, plus his response. And I actually did a video where I pulled up the trademark application, which didn't have Kaya's name on it at all. And if those of you who remember all of this, remember that there was a blogger, I think it was King of Reeds or somebody, who actually said that he was gonna go buy or whatever, and then TS Madison got online and says, I only bought it because bloggers were saying that they was gonna snatch it. But then when I pulled the actual receipts, it was determined that that was a lie, because he actually had filled out the application before the King of Reeds actually even said anything about it. So he got caught in a lie. So he got real pissed off at me, because people get pissed off at me because I tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like I deal in receipts. Y'all ought to know that by now. I pull court documents. Y'all might think I hate one person or the next, but at the end of the day, I'm just team truth. I talked about it with the Simon and Portia thing. I talk about it with everything. And so here it is right here. It says, in addition to the trademark drama, it seems that the former co-hosts were also at odds about money, as apparently one was benefiting financially from social media revenue and one was not. Y'all know who was benefiting? TS Madison. There were also claims of stalking, stealing, and cyberbullying that has continued to this day. Now, the latest court drama involving the former Queen's Court co-host involves a real-life courtroom. And so here it is. I actually did a video about it where I talked about the backlash and about how he and his manager, Giovanni Mack, at the time posted my cell phone number online. Okay, there's a video online about it. I sought an order of protection against Timothy Hinton, aka TS Madison, in Rockdale County, after I began receiving threats of bodily harm from Hinton himself and members of his Maddie mob. My stance on the matter was in direct contradiction to Madison's claims, and I immediately became a target of his tactics. It's been age restricted. I wonder what that is. It says, on a related note, Kaya filed a criminal order of protection accusing TS Madison of cyber stalking after he and his legion of fans bullied her, harassed her, and continuously flagged her social media accounts. I'm trying to see what this video is. Oh, that's Kaya. Okay. Okay, then it says TS Madison still feels some kind of way about how Kaya learned about his alleged misdeeds. And there are, when we went to court, this was right after the court date. That's me and Kaya. They go Josh after the court date. And then Mr. Hinton had his eye on us while we was eating. Okay. And he up here claiming that the case was dismissed. Talk about some keep winning that guy has. And then TS Manhan says they was heated that what they planned on happening didn't. That is all. But the gag is we got a mutual restraining order. So how is it that it didn't happen? Okay, there you go right there. So that's what I said. The thing according to the Shade Room, TS Manhan's posted this still on the Shade Room. Look at this. TS Manhan's posted this acting like he won. Okay. Talk about next time have facts to back up lies against me, and people should seriously stop hanging on to every word they hear from YouTube. Your attempt was dismissed and the traps you set reversed on you. So he was telling the Shade Room and everybody, like I said, you see he got the Shade Room in his pocket, just like they are coming after the DL Whisperer, okay? And he said this acting like it was dismissed when it wasn't. Okay. At the end of the day, the criminal stalking complaint was dismissed, but we were granted a civil restraining order for all parties, which is what we wanted. Okay. And here it is right here, signed by a judge. Okay. He was not to have any contact, direct, indirect, or through another person with the other party and or their immediate family by telephone, cell phone, text, messaging, fax, email, social network, website, any other blah, 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 blah. And it was in effect for a year. Okay. And like I said in this in this blog, it's a win in my book. And Kaya stated previously, she just wants to be left alone. Hopefully this will at least start the process. But judging from the Maddie Mob latest online post, it doesn't seem like the harassment is going to stop anytime soon. And it didn't. And it didn't. And again, even with the restraining order, like I could talk about him online because that's my job. I am a blogger, okay, and the restraining order does not prevent free speech. It does not prevent me from reporting on him. It didn't prevent any of that. It only was like I can't communicate with him. I cannot send him direct messages. I could not text him the same, and he could not do me the same way. So yeah, it was interesting, but throughout that period, he was still online threatening, posting guns, doing all kind of crazy stuff. So, you right, honey. No weapon formed against me. And again, I am a grown woman. I am a woman, okay? A real woman, a biological woman. And he threatened to KILL me, to beat me up, do all these things to me simply because I blogged about him. Now, here is a man who he has doxed, who pulled up on him. Now, all of a sudden, he is in fear of his life. Hold on, let me go see. Hold on. Now he is in fear of his life. Hold on. Where is it? I can't find it now. I thought it was on. Oh, it's on X. Hold on. Which was hilarious to me. Let me see if I can find it. Look, he blocked, but I can still see. Hold on. Like this video as y'all get in here, please. Like, dang, he posts too much. Where is the thing that he said he was in fear of his life? Did he delete it? I think he might have deleted it. Dang, he posts every 5 seconds. Get off the internet, why don't you? Hold on. Let me see. I'm still scrolling, y'all. I'm still scrolling. You said he threatened Tasha K. Yes, they both threatened me as well. Like anytime that you hear us talking about them, you don't hear us talk about fighting them ever. But they always result in violence. That testosterone is strong, honey. That's all they know how to do is talk about violence and threats and all of the above and make fun of child, touching children. And it's just weird to me. Hold on. Let me see. Is this it? Oh, now he responded to Tasha K. Hold on. Here it is right here. Just a grown ass man. Look at this. And as you can see, he blocked. Okay, but I just went over here just to see this. Talk about, yes, I am extremely afraid for my life. A person I've never met driving to my home, threatening my life. Now he see how I feel. A person I had never met was putting my phone number online, was calling me on the phone, all of the above. Talk about screaming out they want to see me take my last breath by their hands. Yes, for sure. I'm in fear of my life. Child, bye. And somebody up under here actually said, had actually mentioned me, was which was how I had seen it. Hold on, what they said. Probably deleted it. Hold on, let me see. Shout out to the squad. Shout out to the squad. Oh, look at all these people up under here. Child. It's too many people. It is too many people, and all of them are threatening violence. I don't understand. How is it that you afraid from your life? Then everybody up under here talking about beating people. I don't get it. Throwing rocks and hiding hands. That's what they do. Throwing rock. Oh, there it is right there. Somebody said it right there. Whoever this is, elusive person, said nobody give a fuck. You did the exact same thing to Michelle ATLien, and now you know how she felt. You doxed Michelle and sent your funny looking mutant cronies to her house back in the day after she exposed you for stealing from Kaya. You deserve everything that is happening to you. I know that's a squad member. I know that's one of y'all in here because I was like, look at y'all. Okay. And then the Nicki Minaj people talk about he wished death on Nicki Minaj, and they talk about R.I.P. to TS Madison. So there's that. Let me see. I think he had responded to Tasha K too. Let me go see. Hold on. I'm just wasting time right now trying to push my number up. Hold on. Like this video. Y'all, I see y'all in here. You know, we ain't doing that. Y'all ain't got no Valentine. I ain't either. Hold on. Oh, here it is right here. Somebody had posted this Tasha K clip, and then he responded with laughing emojis. And the person was actually like, how you laughing when you sitting right next to a criminal? Okay. And so he didn't respond to that. Talk about it was a lie. But we looked at the news footage. Is the news footage all a lie, y'all, about Dominique Morgan? Is all of that a lie? Is that the truth? Did Dominique Morgan steal the money from the other nonprofit and put it into your nonprofit? Is that a lie? Is that the truth? Y'all let me know. Hold on, here it is right there. Who is this? Let me go see. Keep culture alive. Hold on, y'all. I'm pulling it up. All these receipts, Lord. Y'all be tweeting too much for me. I'd be like, this was 3 hours ago? No. Hold on. Where is the Tasha K thing? Oh, there it is right now. He said, TS Madison. Okay, here it is right here. He said TS Madison is allegedly using the Starter House charity home as a shell company. Reports are coming out that after 2 years, Madison had one person inhabit the home in December 2025. TS Madison's business partner, Dominique Morgan, apparently is set to be sentenced in April 2026 for stealing charity funds to fund his personal life. If no one is inhabiting the home, TS is essentially misappropriating government funds to increase the value of his home, as well as line himself and Dominique's pockets illegally. And we already watched the clip once, right? And so he had responded and was laughing. And then the person said, I actually reported on this back in January. I just knew posting Tasha's report would get people scrambling. I do my homework. So this person
that they're probably looking into Timothy and his business dealings because they were looking into Timothy and his business partners' business dealings. TS Madison's business partner charged with stealing nearly $100,000. From where? A charity. From a charity. From a charity. From a charity.
So people been talking about it, but you know, hopefully more people will pay attention now that Nyla and Tasha are putting it together. Child, hold on. Then they talk about TS man hands gonna sue. Child. Then what else on here, child? What else? She is laughing, blah blah blah. Tasha K sick of being sued, yada 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 yada. So we shall see, because it ain't no lie that his business partner is under indictment for $100,000. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? We saw it on the news. We saw it on the news. Okay. Ooh, okay. Now moving on. Like this video. Like this video. Now, I will see you guys in the next video. I don't see nobody else calling in. You said TS is on Twitter saying he gonna sue Tasha K. Okay, well, I will be reading the legal documents. He said, I guess we supposed to act like we didn't see it, kind of like some in Congress. That's what I'm saying. How are we like what? The man is in court. He is the co-founder of your organization. Like any person with any type of sense would question, why would you have that person on your board of directors or on your staff or as a co-founder or whatever if you are not in cahoots? I'm just saying, it is obvious that he has been indicted. The district attorney has been involved, all of those things. The news, the New York, it's on the New York Post, New York Times, all of that. So there's that. You said so true. And Tasha K was talking about the business partner and not TS man hands. Okay. It's all just interesting to me. You never win when you play dirty, honey. You never win when you play dirty. And I'm sure he'll probably use the Dominique Morgan dude as a fall guy, probably, because he already going to jail. What's a couple of $100,000 more? Okay, I'm just saying, go ahead, take the fall for that too. You already going to jail, honey. Keep TS name out of it. TS will probably pay your legal fees or something, child. Who knows what may happen? But we will be tuned in to follow this story. Look, we will be tuning in to follow the court documents, honey. Anyway, y'all, happy Valentine's Day. I appreciate you guys. You said I really look up to you guys, Tasha K, you, Sherelle. I really look up to powerful Black women. You guys talk about Black issues, and I am here for it. Thank you for fighting for us. Thank you for watching, friend. And like I always say, pro me don't mean anti you. And y'all know I done did so many videos talking about don't call me sis. I remember doing that video like 6-7 years ago. I remember doing videos on TS Manhands. I have a whole playlist on TS Manhands and the things that he did to me. And so if you want to go back in time, you feel like watching, go ahead. I love watching old videos too, but documentation is documentation. It's all on the internet, honey. I ain't been sued. Like, I ain't never lied on nobody. I was telling the truth. Okay. You say, is he going to the male or the female prison? I don't know. It's a male mugshot of his running around, child. You love my outfit. Thank you, friend. You can find it on my LTK. I've had it for a while now. I was like, oh, I could wear that Valentine's Day, red and pink. Yes, we love Adidas. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed. Thank you for joining me for the mess. It's been fun. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you guys later. Good night, squad. Oh, it ain't late in Atlanta, but I might as well.
Go to sleep. It's late in Atlanta. Good night.
It is late in Atlanta, honey. Don't go to sleep, though. Stay up and watch Traders. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to catch up on my Traders. It was one other show I need to catch up on. Oh, I want to watch the Tyra Banks documentary. I'm about to have me a whole TV night, and I might go live on Patreon. Who knows? Because it's early. It's only 9:30. I can still go outside. All right, you guys. Good night.